And
D
then,
Live, you can do it on D Live too.
well, but the way it looks to me, and I've only just barely looked, so I can't be positive, is Twitch things looks like it's really set up to be pretty easy to use and to stream with. You just can only stream on Twitch. So I'm thinking I stream it on Twitch and then like host a link to it or something, or post a short video with a link to it or something like that, with like maybe a clip of just some acapella or something. Sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Oh, we are live. We are on air. Yay!
Yeah.
So yeah, I gotta stream on that, and then Twitch streams is a thing that everyone would have to download and like have an account on Twitch. But
Yeah.
the
No,
way
I've
it
got
looks is
one.
people could join in and out, like whenever they want to, like sing different songs, and so you can do like set people up to sing on their own, to sing duets. I think you can have up to 4 people singing together at the same time. So it doesn't have to be just like one person going at a time and like a whole lot of setup every time the song goes. Because
Right.
everybody else's streams that I've seen on YouTube where they try to do karaoke, number one, they get shut down over and over, just depending on the song. And number two, it just there's a lot of setup every time they want to change songs to like the next person. So it's like, all right, we're gonna do one karaoke song, and then you get like 3 minutes of karaoke, and then they're like, all right, now next is gonna be so and so, and what song did you want to do? Oh, I can't find that. Where's that at? Oh, don't see that anywhere. And like 5 minutes later, you get another 3 minutes of karaoke. Like,
So it's just a fucking hassle.
yeah, it just looks like it's a pain in the butt. I'm not that fucking smart, so that's not for me. Especially not for me if I've been smoking weed, because that's really not for me at that point.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen there. But no, the video I just posted in my own Discord here, I stole from somebody else out of gaming's Discord. Apparently, Tonka and Andy are starting to get back at it again. Like they might try to do another fight. I'm not sure. It's like it's a 20-minute clip, and I've only seen the first like 3 minutes, and I have a really hard time watching this because I fucking just do not like the two of them, and I don't find it entertaining. I'm just at this point, I'm like, are they really gonna fight again? I kind of want to know if they're gonna fight again, just because it was such a weird fucking. Oh, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Like a cock tease, you know, like they got everybody's all fucking ready to go.
Yeah.
The circle jerk was all prepared. Everybody had their own like free bottle of lube and fucking tissues, and then they just fucking didn't happen.
Yeah, this if they need a title, I feel like the phrase "desperate for attention" should be in there somewhere.
Yeah, I was thinking the faggoting, but you know.
Yeah, I can you can work that into,
really,
but
compared them to gay people, I think gay people deserve better. To be fair.
Yeah. Jesus, dude. But yeah, I mean, pretty fucking obvious.
Yeah,
Well, to me anyway. I don't know about anyone else, but like, you fucking dudes lost your fucking clout, you lost your fucking attention, and you're like, because Tonka's been, trying to start shit with like Doc Griffin for fucking ever, or
Andy,
I'm sure he's tried to start shit with other people too, but
Andy versus Tonka, my rent check bounced. The rematch. I like that one. I think that says it all.
Vicious and accurate. Well done.
Oh.
Yeah. It's the I might have to get a real job bowl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's what do they call it? I assume they call it fights matches, right? Or is there like a cup or something?
Bout. I think they call them bouts.
Oh, there you go, the bout. Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of like actual fighting.
But yeah, it's reeks of desperation. I could be wrong, but I fucking doubt it.
Let's see. Andy versus Tonka. My rant. I'm putting this in gaming's Discord from after the person put it there because no one else will see it or hear about it otherwise.
Oh, man. But yeah, it's getting sad.
Yeah, Andy versus Tonka, my rent check bounced the rematch. I really would love it if they actually fought. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the first one is probably like indicative of exactly what's going to happen with the second one if they actually do get to that point. And I don't even know if they got to that point because I haven't watched that whole clip. But oh god, it's so sad. Why would you keep doing it? Stop. Just fucking like that ship sailed. Because you're not going to get anybody who's going to commit to go out there and pay the money to fucking go watch.
All right. Yeah, you fucking ruined that by bailing the first time.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking people went to Kentucky. Like, they fucking, they got plane tickets, they got fucking hotels. They were cramming into each other's, friends' places and whatnot. Like, fucking, what a shitty thing to do to all those people, and then to pretend you're going to do it again, and I know it's not going to fucking happen if they try it again, because they're both fucking retarded, but it's just like, oh my god, so sad.
Yeah, it's fucking pretty goddamn ridiculous.
Oh, so I put an actress down in in my chat here. The what's it? I'll throw it in the chat as well. This woman is a vile, disgusting person who should fucking die. It's just. So I'm watching this show on Netflix. It's called Disjointed. It's a weed comedy thing, and it's like a sitcom about. What's her name? Kathy Bates plays the main character, and she's running a weed store just after it turned like legal.
Right.
Just for like you can just do it because you like it. You don't have to have a fucking doctor's rec. Or no, the first season is you have to have a doctor's rec. The second season is like after it goes fully legal. But all in all, it was a pretty fucking awful show. But it was like so bad that watching it was kind of entertaining.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's the ones that are like, so bad they're good.
Yeah, and this chick was on there, and her fucking comedy the whole time, every time she got on there, Betsy Sidero, you just kind of wanted to fucking punch her in the face. Because you're like, Chris Farley is dead. Stop raping his fucking act. He died, and he's the only one that gets to do that. You're not Chris Farley, and you're not fucking funny when you do Chris Farley. And that's all she did. She didn't even. There was no. Like, it was just literally like Chris Farley with tits. It was fucking bad. And she's one of the people from the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater has put out a lot of really good comedians, and just apparently one really fucking awful.
Right. I guess they can't all be winners.
No, God, no.
Yeah. Is it a white chick or?
It's a white chick. Yeah, it's a white chick. It's
I was gonna say maybe it's a diversity hire or something.
Oh God, I wish. Nope. They were like, we're gonna hire this chick and
let's get Lily Singh on this.
Oh, really bad.
Dude, yeah. Have you seen any of the shit on Lily Singh, dude?
Lily Singh? No, I haven't seen any of the shit on Lily Singh. No, do tell.
She's got that fucking show. It's on like super fucking late. Like it's the show Carson Daly used to do, I guess. It's on like 4 in the morning.
She was the diversity hire, right? It's the one that's like failed every year it's been up, and they keep renewing it despite ridiculously low ratings.
Well, that one hasn't been out that long. I mean, I assume that's going to happen.
Well, there's one
kind of like
I heard
Samantha Bee.
Maybe it's Samantha Bee. There's like one show where it's like, despite incredibly low ratings, they just keep renewing it. Like nobody wants to watch it.
Yeah, that's the one, dude.
Okay,
because it's fucking. It never had good ratings, and they've gone down every fucking year.
Yeah,
and
and
they
it just
still keep
keeps
that bitch
getting
on.
renewed for some odd reason, right?
Yeah, it's bizarre.
So Lily Sings
And
is similar, I'm guessing, but not as long running.
yeah, exactly, dude. Well, she's she's a YouTuber. I guess she still is.
No, like about Miranda Sings. Jesus
She's got the
fucking Christ. I
fucking
might get a rifle if it was Miranda Sings.
yeah. It's Superwoman, or it's the one that has capital I's for some reason. I Superwoman I is the name of the channel.
Definitely
But
haven't
she's
watched
got like
that.
fucking 14 million subscribers or something. And yeah, like her videos are just fucking edgy teen nonsense, dude. Um, but dude, the show is so fucking bad, dude.
Wait a minute.
It's
So wait.
oh, she just did the thing that just happened was she did the roast at the NBA All Star game thing, and fucking people trashed her for that because it was just fucking horrible. But the thing is, you're watching her and like she seems to have this delusional confidence.
Welcome to the Brown Bar.
Like her jokes are bombing, but she's acting like they're not bombing.
She bought subs.
Yeah,
She
I
had
wouldn't
to
be
have bought subs
surprised.
because her views never peak over 2 million. Oh no, there's a couple where they do, but even then it's like 14 million, and you're still not getting more than like 5 or 6 million for your extremely popular videos.
Yeah, I wonder what hers are like lately. And I was looking. I was actually
the only
looking.
video she got that was really close to like her actual sub count in views has got James Charles on it, so
yeah,
that's probably
the
James
other one
Charles
that she,
and not her.
yeah, the other one that she was mainly known for was the one where she was like, "I'm going to read these comments, these mean comments," and one of them was like, "Go back to India, you packy something bitch or whatever slut." And I was like, listen, I'm like, I don't think
Comments that
anybody
were
wrote
never
that.
written.
Yeah, dude. I was like, I'm like, you fucking made that up, bitch. But yeah, she kind of went. This was before she got the show, but she kind of like got some decent notoriety out of that, just trashing the alleged racists.
Look, she got a fucking video she did with Reese Witherspoon 2 months ago, 1.1 million views. With fucking Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking sad, dude.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if she didn't pay for subs and pay for views.
Yeah, but yeah, it's really
Well,
bizarre.
not her,
I don't know
but
who.
somebody paid for it. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't know who her writers are, but like the comedy seems like they really love the '90s because all the jokes seem really fucking like '90s references and shit.
Wasn't that kind of like the way it works now? Like you don't actually do anything interesting or new. You just mine old shit for like funny things that you can use that people probably won't remember as well.
Yeah, it must be. I'm pretty sure that's
they
what
don't tell new
I wouldn't be
stories,
surprised.
You know? Oh man! Oh fucking! What was it? The one of the storylines in this disjointed show that I watched was one of the girls comes into the shop with some like fudge that her grandma used to make that she makes now.
Mm-hmm.
And so they convince her, and then like one of the guys helps market it, and they make it into like a weed edible that they sell at the shop, and then he finds other shops to sell it as well.
All right.
And so he's like her business partner. They're doing was it 70-30 split? She gets 70% of the profits. He gets 30 because he helps with the whole marketing thing,
Right.
and set it up. So then a really big dispensary comes along and offers them like this huge deal to market it, to sell it as well. And like the signing bonus alone is like $200,000 a piece, and they want to cut the guy out of it. They're like, well, we just cut him out of it. We don't need him. And so she's like, oh, okay, that's fine. She does it. She goes with it.
Mm.
And so fucking you think like, all right, well, that's fucking it. Like they're fucking dead to each other, right? Nah, dude.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the season, he's apologizing to her because he should have just supported her. I'm like, that's not fucking how
so
that
woke.
works.
So fucking woke.
That's so retarded.
Yeah, it's fucking.
I would never fucking speak to that person again, and I would fucking go with legal action.
Sue 'em.
Like, they'd already agreed to a partnership.
Yeah, I'd shoot the fucking bitch, dude.
I'd
Oh, yeah.
absolutely go after the fucking money. You know, there's no fucking way. Like, oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
cut me out?
bizarre.
Well, you've already signed a contract that has a profit split for if we sell the product at other places. You know, you can't just not be a business partner like because you don't feel like it,
Yeah, because you got a better fucking offer.
or because
That's
you
fucked up.
realize you could make more money if you try to screw over you know who somebody who thought they were your friend. Like, holy shit, that's so fucking evil.
Yeah, that's just fucking horrendous,
Just
dude.
goddamn, man. That just blew my mind. I'm like, that was the worst writing I've ever seen because like that would never happen in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Nor is that remotely moral. Like,
Yeah. Jesus, dude.
can you imagine? Like you and
Yeah.
me, this podcast suddenly gets like fucking like 100 million subs, right? Fucking PewDiePie features it for some odd reason.
Right.
Or you know, one day PewDiePie decides he's gonna get on it and just fucking have a meltdown and just start talking about how he wants to fucking kill all the black people and just goes crazy, right? You know, so suddenly we have like millions of subs because it would take that to get us popular. Let's be fair.
Right. Yeah, it seems unlikely at this point.
But then like that'd be like,
But
me
let's
being
say
like, you
that
know what,
happened.
this show's great and I like all the money that's coming in. I'm just gonna, you know what, Detroit, don't need you no more. I'd be like, so fucking evil.
Yeah, Jesus, dude.
You know, that'd be when you're like, you know what, I got his address Satan, here's fucking 10 grand, go take him down.
I know where he lives. I'm gonna wander around that town until I find him.
And no one would fucking blame you. People would be like,
Yeah,
yeah.
no shit. Like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, it's just like so silly, man. I just can't even imagine that. My mom really wants to start like an edibles company, by the way. That's fucking funny.
Yeah.
I told her, man, if you really want to try to make edibles and fucking sell them in like a store, I'm 100% in. Because that market is still pretty fucking new. It's not like trying to break in on the fucking you know, pastry market now. Like there's just so many companies that would just shut you down. You'd never get a chance to compete. But
Yeah, how long has it been completely legal there? It's been a while now, right? Because you don't need you don't need like a doctor's thing anymore, right?
I think it's been more than a year. I think it's been about a year.
Yeah. I'm right about that, though, right? It's not medicinal or whatever. You don't need a doctor's prescription anymore, right?
Yeah, no, you don't need a doctor's prescription. No, not at all.
Do you have to get a card or any of that weird shit?
Nope. Nope. All you got to do is present your ID.
Because I think
medical
here
use was legal in '96. The Recreational Act was approved in November of 2016, but it didn't go into effect until November of 2017, I don't think. Because I remember it was like a year cooling off period before it was actually going to be like fully legal. But I'm double checking that still. Let's see. It's been steadily getting decriminalized more and more in California. So oh yeah, the ID card was only for the medical thing. When you could, and you didn't even have to have it for the medical thing. If you could just carry the letter your doctor gave you. But the deal with that was it was a lot easier just to get the card and then just register with like whatever places you wanted to buy weed at, like whatever dispensaries.
all right.
And so then you would only have to have that card and pull it out. Sort of like now all you have to have is a driver's license and pull it out.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Although, like I said, I'm not 100% sure that's...
Oh, as of January of 2019, that was when they were no longer able to prevent the legal sales. So you could sell it that was just January 2019 was when it fully became like an actual thing. So it was basically like all these companies were allowed to start making it for just recreational use in 2018. Right. But it took a year for the stores to be able to actually open. So like all these companies basically had a year to just kind of like work with the state to figure out like how are we going to regulate everything? How is like, how are we going to guarantee that, if somebody's buying like 100 milligrams of edibles, they're getting 100 milligrams of edibles. So they're not like, because there was a big problem with I remember I bought some edibles when it was like still just like medical, and it was like, oh, you get these peanut butter cups, right? And you open it up, and it's fucking peanut butter M&Ms that have been dipped in like weed chocolate, and just like dried in like a lump. Like they look like little poops. They weren't. They were not even like shaped or anything.
Sounds delicious, dude.
Shit. And like they were totally random. Like you'd eat one once and be like super high, and then like the next time you'd eat like two and you'd barely feel anything.
Wow.
And that was kind of indicative of the legal market when it was still medicinal, because it just wasn't regulated properly when it comes to that particular aspect. So, hey, what's up, Smudge?
Hey, it's Swastika Legs. How's things?
That's never going to leave me.
I wasn't even going to say that. I completely forgot.
Damn. I'm fighting to keep it alive, dude.
Well, you and gaming, man.
You and everyone else, both. Everyone else. It's like no one wants to forget it, and everyone wants to be in a meme. Luckily, like no one else says it, but I fear if I ever like move off to other circles, like the whole Comicsgate stuff with the comic and everything, I fear one of you assholes is going to phone me there and go, "Swastika Legs." They're gonna be asking questions, and I'm gonna have to explain it.
Super successful. He's putting out his own comic book, and we're like, "Hey, Swastika Legs, the comic book."
Eventually, he's gonna get tired of it and just disappear from.
Yeah,
find some other place to hang out.
I'll just change my art style and come back with like a new name.
It's a good way to go. Yeah, honestly, Swastika Legs is not going to sell a lot of magazines.
Probably not.
Not to the
very niche market, the neo-Nazis and all.
Oh my god, we should start a party. We should start a new political party in the U.S., like the Judeo-Nazi Christian group or something like that. Something real fucking bad. Just like everybody's a Nazi.
Semites for Nazis.
Yeah, it's just fucking real dumb. For all those Jews that basically get like cornered into like being called Nazi all the time, and all the black people that get called racist white men. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Or Uncle Tom. Oh, that's the one that gets me. Oh, so Samaj, maybe you've heard about this more than I have. I don't really follow any of this stuff, but you talk to more people. Because you actually are a decent human being, and people like having you on their shows.
To an extent.
Are Andy and Tonka warming up to fucking try to fight again?
I have no idea.
I saw a clip about that, and I just was like, really? Wow.
Well, when it comes to that kind of drama, I tend to stay away.
Yeah.
I just like, I thought it was boring before, and then it's boring afterwards. So it's just like, what's the point?
True.
However, I'm not the only one who feels that way, because I guess other people did. I remember hearing, who was it? I can't remember who told me about this. They were saying how like the both of them are just like disappearing. No one's caring. No one gives a rat's ass. So if they are starting drama, I imagine they're both doing it just to desperately stay relevant.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like the name of the fight should be the Desperate for Attention Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, if they actually did a fight, I honestly don't think it's going to save them. People have just sort of moved.
Put the money for us to go. No one would show up. No one would. There's no way anyone would buy a hotel room or a plane ticket to this one.
Well, no one's going to show up regardless, because I mean, with the news, the whole coronavirus thing going on in the States.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That couple who came back from Japan, knowing that they were sick,
I wish gaming was here.
Oh, there was
he
a
was-
couple that came back to the States
Gaming was
knowing they
fucking
had
furious,
coronavirus.
dude.
Oh, you didn't hear that? Yeah, they came back from a trip from Japan. They were two white people, old 70-something people. They knew they were sick. They knew something was wrong, but they came back anyways. And Donald Trump is fucking furious because he found out about this. The husband confirmed, and now they're waiting to hear back from the wife. Doesn't matter because we know one was confirmed to have the coronavirus and spread it. So then now they have to go through, containment of some sort. I think it's in California. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember. Gaming was furious, just furious. He was he was so mad, he was seeing double. It was that upsetting. Which, fair enough. It's a fucking coronavirus. It's killing thousands of people.
Yeah. That you would indiscriminately bring that back and not tell anybody.
Yeah.
So,
How fucking selfish is that?
Fucking disgusting.
Well, it spreads so easily that it's also airborne, which means that essentially because of the air circulation system on the airplane, everyone on the plane has it. So now we have to track down all those people and where they go.
Yeah. And how fucking dare
essentially-
this couple put everybody on that plane's life in danger because they just didn't feel like waiting.
Yeah, and so
And Japan has some of the best medical care in the world.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They should just stay in Japan.
Yeah, it's not like they were in China. They were in fucking Japan where they'll actually get to go to a hospital and be treated properly.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, there is some reason to be concerned because at this point, because we don't know if the
At this
American
point,
government.
there's no way to stop it. There's no way they can get a handle on that many people from the airplane. Plus, then however many people those people interacted with.
Well, I mean, the answer would probably be to do what they're doing in China and quarantine the entire city. Unfortunately, the goal is we got to figure out, and I don't know because I don't know what actions the government's taking right now because they're probably acting on this immediately. They probably have a list of how many people were there, and then they need to figure out, like, as they pass through the airport, how much it infected people in the airport. Don't know.
Oh, and then, how many people in the airport alone? Plus, where did those people go? Oh, fuck.
Now you see why it's a concern.
Yeah, I think at this point, I don't know that there's any way to really truly contain it.
It's hard to say. Also, you won't know, like for a whole month because you'll be asymptomatic for like 24 to 30 days. So that means we won't know. And
is there any indication of what city those old people went to?
Or
even state?
It was listed, but I mean, like at this point, like we mentioned, it happened in an airport, so people could have gotten infected and traveled. And on top of that, people who stopped off of the airplane, we don't know how many of those people were on joint flights, so they could have just hopped on another plane. So then now you have to track every single person. And then they need to try their best to figure out where they've gone, because there again, we don't know how many people will travel outside of that. Then some of them may have to travel further to smaller towns, like maybe they got on Greyhounds and hopped off to this town or that town or who knows where. That's why it's such.
Got on another plane and went to a completely different airport.
Exactly.
And then infected a whole nother plane full of people, and then that plane full of people, and it's just the fucking domino effect there is just too staggering to even imagine.
So, how long before we get coronavirus internment camps?
Oh man,
I don't know.
Stadiums full of people.
I don't think you can.
Well, yeah,
probably not.
Well, one model that they had to try and work with. Have you guys heard about the corrupted blood virus in World of Warcraft?
No.
So how that got out of control.
I think that was back in 2016, although don't quote me on that. It could have been sooner than that. But essentially what had happened, a new dungeon came out there, and there was and the final boss had an ability called Corrupted Blood. And it does a little bit of damage to you, but the thing is that your character will vomit, and then it'll infect other people around you, and then it'll do a little bit of damage to them, and so on and so forth. However, you could just use like a debuff or whatever a cleansing spell or whatever to remove it.
Yeah.
But characters like hunters and warlocks have pets, and a lot of people don't disinfect their pets because you assume that it'll just go automatically once you leave the dungeon. Oh, hey, it's gaming.
You little hussy. Why you fucking cheating on me in another fucking stream? Huh?
Oh my god.
You little hussy bitch.
I was waiting, and nothing.
Well, fucking Addy
You
had
still
me
live over there?
Addy had me in a fucking headlock, and I was he had me talking with him.
Mm. What we're
And
talking
I
about?
mean, at least apparently, I realized that the fucking internet finally YouTube is fixed. Maybe I guess.
Yeah.
Well,
in Samaj's defense, I think he just wanted to talk more about the couple from Japan, and he didn't want to do it in your presence because you get upset.
You know, you understand that I can ban you in this server, right?
What? That's
Actually,
a
you probably can.
possibility.
Oh, shit.
I mean, that is what we were talking about.
I'm like, what do you mean possibly? I'm the one who created the server. Fucking douchebag. Anyways, I'm gonna go get something to eat. I had you guys in the background here, so
No
giving
problem.
you guys some
Oh, yeah.
views and share the link out. Stop being douchebag and retarded.
I don't have anywhere to put the link out at this point other than like
You don't have a Twitter anymore?
I don't have a Twitter anymore. I'm banned and I fucking love it.
Wow.
I'm so much happier and I have so much more time. Now that
What?
I'm on
Yeah, I
Twitter.
should probably do that. I never post anything on Twitter. I might as well post the fucking.
Yeah.
God damn it! I show up and I get a
I should get another
down.
Twitter. I really should, just for the sake of like keeping up on like news and stuff, because you can find a lot of really interesting stories there. But
Well, you get all the left leaning fucking news.
yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it's just so nice not being on there because it's just like I don't know, like when I communicate with people, it's so much more pleasant.
Yeah, well, Twitter's a fucking hellhole full
Yeah.
of fucking morons. Anyways, I'm gonna go get something to eat because I'm fucking starving. I'll be here.
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah,
grab
well,
some food, man.
Yeah, just talk about what we usually talk about.
Yay.
So I just saying that if your pets don't get the buff taken down or the debuff removed, and then they'll just keep doing it and spraying it to other people. Now, if you're at level like I think at that particular dungeon you had to be like at level 50 or something. It's not a big deal. It's like a little bit of health. Oh well, take a potion, do this, go get it removed again. It's not a big deal. But apparently, if you take that thing out and you infect people of a lower level, like let's say like 30 and below, they die within a minute or two.
Oh damn.
Because it's a high level spell affecting low level players. So
you gotta really you can really fuck up a lot of newbies just by walking through the town.
Just walking through the town, and that's exactly it. And then it gets worse because apparently because they didn't like this debuff ability wasn't supposed to be anywhere but at the dungeon. It wasn't supposed to go out into the main server. And what ends up happening is that if you walk around and you have this, because if you have it, you have an animation. You'll vomit up blood and all that kind of stuff. So that's how you know you have it. But if you go into town and you talk to an NPC like an auction house or a dealer or something like that, apparently you can infect them too. And
so they get it, and then the next person who talks to the fucking store is fucked.
Exactly, but it gets worse because you don't know that they have it because NPCs don't have animations for that. They don't have the animation to vomit blood or whatever, and so they don't show any signs. And so you can go to the auction house and then walk out with this virus. And it was so bad, like
until you start throwing up.
Exactly. And so then you'll die. Go back. So in World of Warcraft, if you die, your soul ends up in the graveyard. You have to walk all the way back to your corpse and resurrect right there. Well, if you resurrect, your health is already low, and then you die again because of the virus.
Oh, so if you don't have a way of clearing the virus before you die, you're basically fucked.
You're just in a death loop.
Exactly. And so it just got worse and worse. You kept infecting other people, and other people kept getting it from the NPCs. And like there were screenshots of corpses all over main cities. And then people of higher level, like high healers, would try to set up quarantine stations. So try to make your way to them, and they'll remove the debuff and and tell you not to go to small towns or not to go to the major cities, stick in small towns. But then, they couldn't
But
really
then the
help all
small
that.
towns started getting infected, I'm sure.
Yeah, and then you get assholes who just sort of like go around infecting people for the fun of it.
Yeah, I'm
Just
sure.
because
Yeah.
if I have to suffer, you get to suffer with me. Misery loves company, and
Or
so
they
they,
just
they
love griefing.
yeah, I mean, and so then there'd be a lot of that. So
Oh, yeah.
this little event was treated as a great little test to see what would happen if a global pandemic would happen. And they're using it as an example with China. It seems to be going with exactly as they had thought. There are some people who get the disease and they're going around infecting people on purpose, just because I don't know they just want to see the world burn.
It's like, well,
Um,
if I might die, then I want to take as many people with me so that I can feel important. That's what it is.
exactly. Well, there
And
were
I'm going to
frankly,
leave my mark on the world.
people
well
like that
apparently
couple that decided to just come back and not tell anybody should be shot.
yeah. Well, there was a
My
woman in
opinion.
China
You
who
should be fucking tortured.
there was a woman in China who spat on her hand and rubbed it all over the buttons in the elevator for her apartment, and
Jesus
everyone got
Christ.
infected.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Have they gotten any official stats on what the mortality rate is of this fucking disease?
It's like
Of this
50%. I
virus?
think they lie and claim it's like 1%, but
it's really hard to say because China cannot be trusted.
Yeah,
In fact,
exactly.
people have been concerned because when the information came out, there was already like hundreds of cases of people being sick, and then the information just came out. However, it takes 30 days gestation time, which means that the infection actually started in November. When the first announced that there was a case, it was in
yeah.
December. So that means it started in November, but they didn't say anything because they didn't get the number because they already had hundreds of people sick at that point, so it was already a problem. So hundreds of we don't know exactly how many people were sick, and we don't know how many people were traveling outside the country around that time.
Well, plus,
With
like
that said,
states like California just don't enforce the border.
well, I mean,
So who knows how many people just crossed the border, and how many of those people were sick, and
Mhm. Well, yeah, and I mean, like you have cases in different parts of the world of people getting sick, and they all came from China, so or from Wuhan in particular. So
yeah.
yeah. Well, the amount, like I said, gestation time takes about 30 days, a whole month. So at this point, given that quarantine's been essentially broken in America, stock up. Go get yourself a big bag of rice, maybe some water, get some protein bars. Don't leave your house if you don't have to. Disinfecting wipes. Um, I'd say wear a full head quarantine mask if you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to hear the mortality rate of all the people that are not in China that were infected. Because that would give you a much better idea of what to be, how to be, how much worry you should have. Like, clearly I'm going to be, I've got my 7-gallon jug of water that I got to fill, and I've got, plenty of, I've already got food. So I'm not worried about that, but.
Good. Yeah, prep if you can. Also, I've learned that apparently in America, if you have a stock of anything, they're allowed to raid your stock of your stored food.
No, that's actually not true. That's a direct violation of one of the amendments.
Well, apparently that could be that
Direct
can
violation
be
of the Fourth Amendment.
yes.
But if there are a bunch of people with fucking rifles show up, make your own call.
Apparently, in times of need, they can get away with it. I don't know what
No, they
that
can't.
was.
It's not legal. You
No,
will
it's
make
not
a
legal.
lot of money back on that.
I know it's not legal, but apparently they can do it, and you can try a sue. I don't know, like there's all
Frankly,
kinds
in that
of
situation, if it's that bad, shoot, don't sue.
yeah, okay, yeah, go for it, but we'll see.
Oh yeah, if you're one of those people who actually thinks the military could take over the people in the U.S., you're delusional. We'd
Oh, I don't think so. Yeah, no, I don't think so. But
Psycho's up. Psycho's here. Hey, what's up, man? He's stocking up on alcohol. But no, like legitimately, I think depending on the situation, number one, you should not make your preps like well known to anybody like that could identify you.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, you should definitely talk with your family and be like, you don't tell other people that we have all this. This is just not something you discuss.
Mm-hmm.
So it should never come up. The government should never fucking know that you have them. And then most importantly, you should have multiple places that you store. Preferably somewhere in the range of thirds. Just because, like, and that's not because I'm, like, paranoid that somebody's gonna come steal shit, but, like, if your house burns down, well, wouldn't you be happy to have some supplies in your car? Like some food and water and some change of clothes in your car. That's a good place to keep some stuff, you don't have to keep a ton. But, like, it's a good idea to have, like, copies of maybe, like, your prescriptions and, like, maybe a couple days worth of any necessary medications. And then and then, like, a set of sweatpants, like sweatpants and a sweatshirt. With a couple, like a big pack of granola bars or some shit.
Yeah.
Nothing that's going to fill your car up, but, you can easily carry that around with you for a while. And also in your house, if, like, say, like, California, like, we have earthquakes... I don't want all the food and water we have stored in just one place. It might get crushed. So better to have a couple different places where you keep, like, like you have a pantry and then you have, like, some stuff out in the garage, so you have good way to go. Oh, Psycho says the government can't seize your medication for the greater good. Psycho, he was talking about, like, supplies, like food and water.
Yeah.
And I if I'm not mistaken, I think that's directly the Fourth Amendment. But I think there's actually one specifically about the military taking your stuff. And they're not allowed to occupy your house, and they're not allowed to take your things.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if things can get as bad as
they have
could
guns,
get,
you make your own choice. If you think that there's enough, if you have enough, you're like in a compound, and y'all can take out that regiment, do it. If not, you're probably better off just giving them shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, like, with everything happening, I'd say just, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, because that's all you're going to get. Yeah, what else was I going to say? Something about coronavirus nonsense. Not nonsense. So
yeah, the silly little coronavirus thing.
That silly little coronavirus. Yeah, I hear they're burning, like they're cremating 20 bodies a day.
Oh, I got an eminent domain.
Yeah, well, and they're also they're not letting the families, like, take the bodies and do funeral proceedings. They're like, if they've confirmed death by coronavirus, they're burning the body. You don't get it back. Fuck you. That seems to be China's attitude right now. And it's gotten so bad in some cases because people are choosing to die in their homes because they rather die in their homes than go to a quarantine camp, because those are fucking terrible.
It's
you're talking about
dude.
Obama signed something in 2012. Oh, Obama signed an executive order that gives him the authority to take over all food resources in the nation as long as it's done to promote the national defense under both emergency and non-emergency conditions. Yeah, that's not remotely legal.
Yeah.
He did that as well, like an executive order?
I'm surprised that hasn't been struck down already, because it's directly in violation of the Constitution. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fucking nuts, dude.
Because there's an amendment, right? I know there's an amendment about the military can't, like, fucking occupy your property without your permission.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are all kinds of amendments and stuff that are unjust, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few in there that lets them pretty much do whatever they want.
Yeah, like the one that gave women the right to vote. It's fucking bullshit, dude.
Fuck you. Well, I mean, and the fear of all this has caused all kinds of things to affect economy and even pop culture. Like, I just found out today that that Sony is pulling out of PAX East or wherever it is. I think it's at that convention in Boston. So they're pulling out, so Sony will not be there. Out of fear that, potential of coronavirus stuff and everything. With that said, I mean, like, I'm not going to any conventions this summer. I'm staying away from large populations.
Oh, yeah.
I might not even go to any movies like I might just like watch Marvel movies online or something like in pirating stuff because why would I run that risk?
That's actually a good point. I think I will have a discussion with my family and be like, hey, if there's a movie you guys want to see in the theater, I will get you a screener. Don't fucking go see the movie. Because my dad's like, it's fucking, let's see, it's 2020, so he's 70 years old. And he just got diagnosed with cancer for the third time, and it looks like it might have metastasized already. Like, they're about to start doing some final checks, and then they're going to start the radiation, like, in a couple days.
Right.
So, like, there's no way if he got the coronavirus, there's absolutely no fucking way he would survive. Like, there's just not.
Well, like the older people and children don't stand a chance. I mean, part of the other reason, like with the corrupted blood thing in World of Warcraft, the lower level people could be considered like children and elderly, because the higher level people could be like people between the ages of like 20 and 45, I think.
Yeah.
Which are higher levels and everything could survive it. Like I'm 36, I could survive the coronavirus.
You would hope, yeah.
I probably could with my immune system, even if your health isn't the greatest. I mean, the age is a factor because you could probably get through it. But my mom, she's not going to survive that.
Yeah, my mom would probably make it, even though she's older. But like my dad, definitely not.
Although, I mean, news had come out not too long ago that there's a few other things about the coronavirus that'll do to your body that's terrifying. One of which being the damage it does to your lungs is irreversible. Which means that because one of the things that the coronavirus does is that your lungs will fill up, and it'll suffocate you, and that's one of the ways it'll kill you.
It'll essentially drown.
Essentially, drowning your lungs. But I mean, like even if you survive that, you're not the damage it does to your lungs is irreversible. It does lung scarring, if you will, so it'll scar your lungs. So
it can make you sterile too, right?
That's the other thing. Yes, it does make you sterile.
This is very obviously like an engineered virus at this point. Like that's pretty fucking clear.
Yeah.
There's no way that something this virulent just randomly mutated out of a fucking bat.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
this didn't happen because somebody ate bat soup.
Well, it was bat soup, and then it was snake soup, or then it was like a bat pissed in a scientist's mouth or something. Some other nonsense. They keep
Man, they're into some freaky shit.
Well, they keep making up stories as they go along, and I think it's because they don't want the truth to come out that the Chinese science facilities are so incompetent that they can't control these viruses. They can't figure this stuff out.
Well, and not only that, but that they have all the information on the manufacturing and creation of this virus, and they haven't given it out to anybody to potentially make an antivirus.
Yeah, well, and if the infection does start going out in America, and it probably will, they'll have cases and they'll study the virus more closely, and they'll probably find out that it was engineered. And this could have huge ramifications for China, probably like force them to have an investigation. Like I don't know, it's not good. I mean,
it might mean no more Chinese goods for a really long fucking time. That's the other thing.
Yeah. I say we just nuke China. I mean, really that would instantly make the world a better place.
Would anybody miss it? Yeah.
No, Chinese people are fucking awful, dude.
Well, I mean, you'll miss the fact that certain goods won't be there. Like for instance, I didn't know this.
Small sacrifices that we can take.
Yeah, really.
We can evolve.
Yeah. True enough. I mean, I found out recently that essentially because it's so cheap, most American comic books are printed in China. I didn't know this, but yeah, they're printed in China and it's brought over here.
Yeah.
So that'll make me.
I'm talking about like. If you're buying a set of sheets and you don't know where they're coming from, check.
Yeah.
You know, if you're on like Amazon right now and you're like, man, I gotta find a really cheap fucking, table, then fucking make sure you're getting it from an American company.
Yeah, you're gonna want to do that. You may have to just focus on making things yourself, if at all possible, which sounds like a lot more work, but at least you know it's safe.
Well, like I just bought a futon and a frame that's gonna get delivered that I got to put together. But I know for a fact that it was assembled in the U.S. with U.S. stuff, and it cost me like an extra couple $100 because it was U.S. made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like $900 altogether for the futon and the frame.
Yeah.
But I know it came from the United States, so I don't have to worry about that. But like that's, like that was one of the things I was looking at when I was buying, like the futon pad, the mattress protector, and the sheets. And like, I don't want to buy cheap Chinese shit. I want to buy, American-made, good quality products that'll last for a while.
Oh, by the way, I just wanted to say that Psycho, if you're listening, go fuck yourself. I put several comments and you didn't reply to my comments, so you're a piece of shit. Fuck you.
Oh yeah, you said the military quartering is the third. Yeah, I figured it out. It was the third. It was the Third Amendment. I don't know about seizing stuff. It seems to be like
I think it's the fifth, right? The search and seizure. Oh, search and seizure. Never mind.
It seems to be that the government cannot seize supplies and things like that without Congress making specific laws for that particular military conflict. So if the government wants to start going into people's houses and taking like their food and water, which I don't think is very likely, they literally have to have congressional like authorization specific to that incident. So like, say China declares war on the U.S., it would have to be for the Chinese-American War that they would have authorization to do that. And it would be specifically like how and all the how they would do it and everything would all be have to laid out in law by Congress. So they'd have to vote for it. So I can imagine that that's not something that would likely happen except under extreme circumstances. And I think by that point, anybody who had actual supplies would probably have hidden them a lot better than they have now. Because they'll see it coming.
I have a Chinese friend, and I've known him for years, but he's such a fucking idiot. Because his family's made plans to go visit relatives in China, and his plan is scheduled for April. And I'm like, dude, don't even bother going. He's like, oh no, we're gonna go. I'm like, you're like, first of all, you might not get a chance to go because they probably won't let you fly. But then again, this is Canada. We apparently took in like 8 people or 8 flights from Wuhan. So I mean, the chances of it getting here in Canada is pretty good. Although there hasn't been that many cases here yet.
Damn.
But he's like, oh no, we're gonna go. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's fine.
Oh, he still buys the fucking retarded propaganda from China.
Oh yeah. His dad has it the worst.
One of my favorite channels is Laziki, and it is. Oh, Butternut's in the chat. You already get quarantined? Hell yeah, dude. Seriously.
I've been wanting Butternut to be in quarantine for fucking years.
But a lot of people don't realize that in China, there are ways to improve your life if you're born in the city, but if you're born outside in the country, you're a farmer, that's where you live, you do not get to leave that life. You grow food. If you're born in the countryside, you're a farmer and you grow food, and that's all you ever get to do. Yay, communism. But so Laziki is this channel where it shows like this just incredibly romanticized version of a woman living as a farmer, where she's got this like incredibly spacious house. She lives in this like wonderful scenic mountain area, and just growing food is so easy. She just walks out and picks it off the ground. It's everywhere. And she just spends all her time trying to figure out what's her next like restaurant style meal to make. It's pretty fucking great. But it's very clearly Chinese propaganda. Because as far as I know, like China doesn't actually allow YouTube.
I know Satan's not here, but get one step up a wrench.
Oh, somebody needs a wrench?
Yeah, it's somebody from the Davy Crocco.
Oh, hey, what's up?
If you guys aren't, actually, he does really good videos too. The One Step Too Far.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, he does good shit.
There we go. Yeah, before Satan can fucking ban him from the channel, like block his account. Good point, sir. Thank you for catching that. But I'll post a link to the channel because it's pretty fucking entertaining. And they're all short videos. They're all like 5 to 10 minute videos.
Yeah. Oh, before I forget, the pretty much all Marvel movies are going to make zero money when it comes to China. Like they'll air it in China. No one's going to go out and see it. No one,
Yeah.
everyone's scared. Like even like most of the factory workers are saying just work from home if you can. But some places are like trying to force employees to come back because it's like because their economy is just it's at a standstill. No one's going. No one's going to work
Oh, in China? I'm
in
not
China.
surprised.
Everyone's too scared to leave their house.
Yeah.
Like and also I mean like the people who have been infected, like who are like in apartment buildings who don't know it. Um, Sometimes they got lucky and it was just that one apartment. Everywhere else came out clean. They go back and test them, but yeah, it turns out they were still clean. But now they're too scared to leave their homes. And so, I mean, in order so that people don't die, like family outside there has to come over and bring them food.
Oh God,
Like,
what was it? Did you see the fucking propaganda shit that China put out? Like there was like a Chinese news report that I saw where like people were like shaking hands and hugging and like kissing each other on the cheek. We're not scared. Coronavirus isn't that dangerous. There's nothing to fear. We know the government will take care of us. And they're just like, you're just like, oh, that's not going to work out in the long run for you.
yeah.
Did you guys see the footage of those little mini tanks just sending out clouds of fucking disinfectant in China?
Not the mini tanks.
Yeah, they're really fucking small. Well, they're not regular tank size, obviously.
Are you talking
like
mini
remote
tank?
control things, dude? Just rolling through, just spewing out clouds of that shit, dude.
Oh
Let's
shit!
see if we
Really?
can find a clip of that.
I've seen the people with bicycles running around with those spraying, you know.
Oh yeah, spraying the disinfectant spray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was that one picture showing like the cloud of what was it? Not CO2, something like that. It was a thing involving like burning flesh, a big cloud all over Wuhan. And people were like, no, that's just heat from the factories. Well, factories are producing an all-time low. So it's like, well, it's not that. And then they have like swarms of crows in Wuhan because they're attracted to the smell of burning flesh.
I don't believe that.
I saw the videos.
Because I saw videos, but I saw videos a long time ago.
Yeah.
So that was before they started doing the fucking burning.
There are videos going to even today using VPNs. I mean, you can see it. There are swarms of crow around the city.
Yeah, I'm not denying or saying that I don't believe that. What I'm saying is this was happening before they started incinerating corpses. I saw fucking videos about that before that.
Well, I didn't see anything about that. But there again, I mean, China has been lying about a lot of things. Like we were mentioning earlier, they could have been burning bodies long before. We're only recently finding out about this. And not to mention, I mean, like we were mentioning earlier, like because the gestation time takes as long as it does. By the time we started getting reports, there are already people who are infected, which means that the virus started spreading in November.
Yeah. Oh,
so
we have Mad Metal Man here. Everybody say, yay, Mad Metal Man. Kicking ass.
No.
Yeah.
And then Psycho says, we're winning the trade war thanks to Corona Chan. And then one step too far says the carbon spike over Wuhan is directly related to organic burn off. They're literally burning bodies by the tens of thousands. And that sounds really smart, and I'm really dumb, so I'm gonna believe him, but because I don't fucking know.
And there was they also have those mobile incinerators.
Yeah.
Which is another terrifying thing to hear about.
I know Mad Metal Man's worried that they're confirmed burning bodies. I know that they're wasting all that food, man.
Man. There was some other indicator, like some sulfur something, that was an indicator that they were burning bodies too.
Yeah,
like you can see the cloud all over the fucking, like just in that fucking area.
That's fucking too bad.
I'm sure that's pretty fucking accurate.
I just hope at the end of this, I really am hoping that the people rise up and start a civil war and fucking destroy the country.
Oh, in China, like actually take back their country, and it's not a fucking crazy.
Yeah, well, people are getting pretty outraged over the treatment of the citizens because, like I said, we have people losing family members, and the government's just taking them, putting them in quarantine camps. I mean, there's also the cases where people are getting locked up in their apartment buildings, and then they say, well, one person can leave to go get food, but as soon as they leave, they just take them to the quarantine camps. And then the other parent of the kid might leave to find out what's going on, and then you have this kid left alone.
Oh
Which is
no!
another. Oh yeah, we have children dying as well because they're taking the parents away and leaving the kids. No one's taking care of these kids, and a lot of them are unsupervised. They don't know. They can't. You don't know the names,
Man.
like their last name. They remember like mommy and daddy. They won't remember their last names because they're kids. How would they know?
You know
It's
what
not
they
like the
need?
parents.
They need the Catholic Church. Priests will take care of those kids.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that could be a good case. I mean, bring. I hate to say it, but they might need Jesus.
No, I just think if you want people that are definitely going to take care of kids no matter what, the priests will do it. They're like, we got a future interest in these kids, so.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry,
Some-
that's fucking awful.
No, that's okay. Dark humor is the only way we're going to get through this.
Although the whole trade war thing, dude, because I was kind of thinking about that. If you were going to actually try to do that, some fucked up shit like that, like the Wuhan would be the place to do it because China has biological labs there. So like you literally go in and infect people in that city, you know, like the fucking CIA or whoever. Like that would be the best way to do it because then they'll be like, oh, it must have come from their own shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Right?
That
Have
whole thing is...
white people started to catch it too? I assume they have, right? Because for a while they're like, oh, it's only Chinese people, brown people, so nobody cares.
There was a big joke about that for a couple weeks. Yeah, no, it's definitely white people are getting it too. Yeah.
Oh, now I'm fucking worried.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just worried for my dad. My dad's super, 70 years old, cancer again. And so fucking, like, there's very little chance that if he caught coronavirus that he would have any chance at all. He's almost died from pneumonia a couple times.
Oh yeah, I mean
So,
this
I mean-
coronavirus. There's a good
Yeah.
reason to be scared of the coronavirus. I don't know to what extent it's going to be. We won't know. I mean, there's entirely a chance that we're all going to get lucky, and it's not going to be a big pandemic.
Well, if for that to happen, I think we need to develop an antiviral that actually works for it. Like, so far, that hasn't happened. That's the key. So that if you go get it, you can use an antiviral, and, like, then it's like a 99%, success rate. People don't die and get scarring and fucking end up sterile.
Which reminds me, so I don't forget.
If it's a lot of really dumb fucking poor people that get sterilized by it, I'm not sure that's a bad thing.
Or stupid.
Well,
Can we
the thing
release
is,
it into, like, certain communities?
well, chances are if it's spreading through the airport, and poor people can't use airplanes. Let's be honest, they can't
if
fly.
it gets to the rich people, that's even funnier.
Well, and it could be. Who knows? Who knows?
No, the rich people are not stupid, so no. I mean, that's why it's in California, so if anything, it'll spread in California.
Yeah, California is where I'm at. That's why I'm really worried, because
Yeah.
if it's going to get anywhere in the United States, California is going to fucking welcome it in with open arms.
And California's fucking retarded.
There was someone that introduced me. I should sit down and listen to this. But there's this audiobook called Eyes of Darkness by Dean Koontz. And it was like a 2016 book. But essentially,
Sounds familiar. Who's that?
I think he's a famous author. Some of his books are turned Dean Koontz. I think some of his books
he writes like military suspense sort of mystery novels.
That's Tom Clancy.
Dean Koontz as well.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
No, Dean Koontz is mystery. I don't think it's military.
Oh, it's just mystery. Oh, it's not military. Okay, sorry. My dad reads like Dean Koontz and Tom Clancy and all that shit all the time.
Well, okay, so this one book that he wrote, apparently, it actually did talk about that, like a pandemic coming from Wuhan, and it eventually spread to America. And he talks about trying to survive in this little pandemic environment. And I think it's about a journalist who's in China, and this outbreak occurs. So he wrote something about this, and people were saying it's eerily similar to what's going on right now. In his book, he essentially said like a kid who was on like a school trip or something got the virus, got on the plane and spread it to America. So
Yeah.
and then society breaks down, which it could easily happen. So
If you want an interesting story about society breaking down from a virus, read Last Man Standing by George Martin.
No, just read the newspapers.
Yeah, really.
We'll chat. There's a link to the
no,
audio
Earth
book
Abides by George Martin. My mistake. Hold on, I'll look it up. It's a great book for if you're talking about like a virus just destroying humanity, and probably much more realistic than Dean Koontz.
All right. Well, I put an audiobook link in the chat here, and also here in Discord. So, if anyone's interested,
the Dean Koontz sounds like he might have had some inside fucking baseball right there.
Yeah. Or he might have just been aware that Wuhan had a fucking biological thing.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
A biological weapons facility. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? We got one step too far as saying that the virus strain is patented. So I don't know. Apparently, you can't patent a virus if you don't have an antivirus for it.
Wasn't it patented by Canada?
Yeah, he was saying that the Chinese stole it from Canada.
Right. So that was another case. Actually, you had a case in America as well. So there was a Chinese student, I guess. I don't know what to say. He was here studying diseases. And, yes, he ended up being a spy, discovering that, and he was trying to ship samples of deadly viruses to China. Well, I mean,
they do it in a shaving can like they did in Jurassic.
Well, who knows? Maybe he did, and then when he got caught, like that's just the coolest shit ever. Yeah, okay, take the virus and go. It was something like that because they let him go with the viruses. That was the Canadian government. So like, blame Canada. However, you had an incident just like that in America as well.
That damn French. That damn French that got into you guys, man.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, America, you guys had the same issue, except it was the Democrat places that let them go, and in both cases was because they were afraid of being labeled as racist. Like you literally let a Chinese spy get away with deadly biological weapons because you're scared of being called racist. Fuck you! You could have endangered.
Fucking retarded.
Yeah. So I mean, it's gone a step too far. Now that reminds me. Seeing how I mentioned racist earlier, I mentioned that Sony set up PAX. Fear of infecting the coronaviruses and that kind of stuff. They didn't want their employees to get it and potentially spread it, which is a big blow to PAX. However, I think it was in Boston that was happening. So the mayor of Boston wrote a letter to Sony, essentially saying that that please reconsider. This virus is dividing the country, and we don't want to spread racist propaganda going around this country now. Or racist behavior towards the Asians. Now, you should find that strange because Sony is a Japanese company, predominantly Asian. So they're not being racist to Asians because they are Asian.
Yeah, really.
But that's what the mayor was.
Basically, political correctness is going to be the end of the human race.
Humanity not being fucked.
Yeah, exactly. We don't care about. We just don't want to die. This isn't rocket science.
There's no time to be fucking polite, people.
Oh wow! So if you want to see the free audiobook of Earth Abides, it's from like the 70s. Like you have an old time radio science fiction theater of it.
Dude, One Step said the Canadians have actually arrested 6 Chinese nationals that work at the CDC there.
Probably.
Fuck, why would you fucking hire anybody that?
Well, it's probably because Canada, in particular, is bowing to China, because they have all this money and they're trying to court them to get all that money, even though if we didn't have a fucking environmentalist prime minister, we could have all the money we want because we have fucking oil. No. We can't have oil. It's bad for the environment. So that's why we get it from the Chinese, who are probably the world's biggest polluters. fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could bitch about Trudeau for hours. I hate him so much.
Oh, well, China being one of the world's biggest polluters is one of the things that bothers me about all the fucking environmental bullshit they want to pull in the U.S. that would just destroy, like, a lot of companies that we, like, legitimately rely on. Like, we still rely on coal for power in a pretty large section of the United States. But, like, little shit like people going, like, well, you can't have plastic straws. Like, we're not dumping plastic straws into the ocean, whether we use plastic straws or not. That's not coming from the United States. That's coming from like China and Africa and South America and India. It's not coming from the U.S.
Dump everything in the fucking rivers and it ends up out at sea. Yeah.
Yeah. If there's like the garbage isn't going there. Like here, like we get garbage. We do landfills. We just dig really, really fucking deep holes, dump the garbage in there, and then once it's full, we cover it up.
Yeah.
And then like all the bio stuff or whatever, it eventually seeps down and becomes other stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't end up in the fucking sea. I fucking hate paper straws. Let me tell you, I hate paper straws so much.
I've never had to use one so far, but yeah, I'm not a fan.
They are dry, they are rough on the mouth, and they stick to your tongue.
Wasn't there like a thing now where like they're selling like metal straws or something? Like you can buy your own metal straw.
I bought a metal
titanium one.
Yeah, I bought a metal straw. I never use it because like it's an inconvenience. Plus, I don't want it rolling around in my bag. It'll get caught up in all the soot and nonsense.
Well, now you just gotta buy a straw holder to carry your straw in.
Yeah. Well, one thing I saw is that there's a collapsible straw. And then it has these rubber nibs attached to it. So you just sort of attach the nib onto it so it holds the end so it doesn't get any dirt on the inside. But there's still dirt being collected on the outside. So it's like it already... Yeah, it's just give me my plastic straws. All right, just give me my plastic straws. I'm not asking for a lot.
Indeed. So there's like literally nowhere up there they all use the paper straws now?
No, not everywhere. There's still places like McDonald's still uses plastic. Most of the other places still use plastic, but some of the other restaurants use.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any restaurants in California that so far that are using plastic or using paper straws.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would definitely be a place that would.
Yeah. Maybe it's only in places like LA and New York and shit, where it's like the big cities and shit and all that.
Well, and I'm pretty sure it's not every place. I'm sure it's just a few of them.
Oh man, one step too far. So he didn't ever use a straw in his life, except for when he was a raging drug addict. That's pretty good. Man, I don't know. That whole situation is fucking terrifying. I think the next time I order groceries, or when I order groceries again in a couple, week or so, I'm gonna fucking order some extra stuff to just have on standby. Maybe a little extra pasta, a little extra rice, a little fucking extra beans.
Yeah.
Because I've already got like a bunch of other stuff just sitting around that I was gonna make my own little MRE things. Because like
go back to buy like pickling and jerky, dude.
Yeah, well, like you can buy MREs, but you don't know how long they've been stored because they're not supposed to sell them anymore legally, technically. But you can still find places to buy MREs, but you don't know how long they've been sitting before you got them. Like you might be buying something that'll last you 5 years or 5 months. You don't know if it got sat out in the sun for like extremely long period of time and just fucking overheated. Now they're not really good anymore. But you can throw together like a couple fucking packets of that, like tuna, jerky, some granola bars, and then you can do those. You have you ever seen those rice sides when you're out shopping?
I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Rice? Did you say rice signs?
Rice sides, SIDES.
Oh, sides. Oh, okay, yeah.
They're like the little instant rice packets for like $1.
Yeah, right.
Those are freeze dried. Those will last for fucking 5-6 years easy in your pantry. Buy a couple of those, some instant mashed potatoes, and you got like some protein and some fucking carbohydrates right there. And then there's always good old raisins and peanuts. Fucking just buy some raisins and peanuts. That'll last for a while.
That's a good idea.
Oh, let's see. The only Canadian on the show right now is Samaj. One step. The rest of us are Americans.
Yeah, he wants to know what kind of Canadian are you?
Yeah.
What kind of Canadian I am?
He's a Wakandan.
I practically am. I'm from Alberta. We want to fucking leave the rest of this country alone, away. We just want to go. We don't want to be part of it. Fucking give me back my roads.
Fuck yeah, dude. Well, you were seriously talking about coming to to the United States, man. I was like, holy shit.
It's bad over here. Yeah, we're having some Aboriginal people putting up blockades right now, but blockades in front of the major highways and the trains, so none of our supplies can hit us. So we're having a bit of a shortage right now. So and our entire economy
Wait. So
yeah,
nobody's doing anything about that?
Well, see, Justin Trudeau was away, so he didn't bother making. He was in Africa, and what he was trying to do in Africa is
No.
he's trying.
What you got to do is you got to get together, all the people from the fucking neighborhood with some baseball bats, and then get some other neighborhoods in together and go fuck those people up.
Yeah, sometimes mob justice isn't all bad.
I guarantee you put 90% of them in the fucking ICU, they'll stop doing it.
See, part of the problem with that is that the police are out there and they're going to stop any violence that happens, but they're not going to.
First?
I would like to get them. They're not doing their jobs. That's part of the problem.
That's a huge problem here too. Yeah, we have a big problem with that in California.
So, but there was the incident here in Alberta when some oil field workers did just that. A couple of the workers got in there with a big truck, went up there and just tore down the blockade. And the film crew was over there, so of course no one fought because all the news people were there. But they came there and tore the whole thing down. And here's the thing: we have like 20 Aboriginal tribes here, 20 of them, and they have elected officials, so they have elections like that. They can't do stuff like enact laws and stuff, but they have representatives to try and conduct policies and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's not like they're powerless, but all 20 of them voted, and they said they wanted all these pipelines and oil stuff to go through because they know perfectly well that oil creates jobs, and jobs helps people out, especially young people who don't have many opportunities, like on the reserves. So it's a good thing to have these pipelines and all the oil stuff happen because they need workers, and we have people that need work. Simple as that. It's either that or they just go to crime and become alcoholics and violent people, which is what usually happens. Yeah. Which is why our prison, most of the young Aboriginal people end up in prison. So they need opportunities, and that's exactly what they offer. So the people who claim to be Aboriginal, they're from what's called the Wet'suwet'en tribe, and they looked into it. They have a website, the Wet'suwet'en indigenous tribe or whatever. They're actually a business hired for various different projects.
Yeah,
they're not a tribe at all. It's the equivalence of McDonald's deciding to blockade a pipeline or something.
It's like Safeway deciding to blockade fucking Lucky.
Exactly. That's how it worked out. So these aren't tribal people at all, but they're taking the name of Aboriginal people and claiming to be that, but really they're not Aboriginal people at all. And anyone who goes there, like any film crew has gone there and filmed these people who are protesting. Most of them wear masks, but a lot of them, when they have a good look at them, most of them aren't Aboriginal. They're white. And not only are they white, like the internet's done their job, and they've looked at these people and compared to other, let's say, environmental protests and stuff. These are people who have been seen before in other protests called the Extinction Rebellion. So this isn't an Aboriginal protest. This is a fucking environmental protest done by Extinction Rebellion. These are environmentalists.
I don't know if it was the same group, but the same thing happened when we had the pipeline. The Native Americans trying to stop the pipeline in the U.S. Mm-hmm. There was like a very small group of natives who just wanted to redo their contract. Basically, they wanted more money.
Mhm.
And then the fucking American college kids just fucking flooded it and just destroyed everything. Just with
That could
trash and
be.
fucking feces and
Yeah, and that could be. I mean, I'm sure sometimes governments will go over certain areas and do whatever they want. Not, or maybe not governments. That does happen, but I
yeah.
mean, it's not like every single time it's going to happen. In this case, they actually like they didn't have to, but they did. They actually talked with the Aboriginal communities, and they all agreed to it, all of them. So who the fuck are these people?
No.
So and that's why everyone's all upset with all these blockades because people are trying to get to work. They're trying to do their jobs. They're trying to put food on the table, and these assholes are stopping it.
Well, and then the cops are not doing a damn thing, which is the part that's ridiculous.
No, well, and Justin
Because
Trudeau did.
the blockade should never get put up in the first place because the police should start arresting people before they start building a fucking blockade on a road.
Exactly.
You know, like it's a public fucking road.
Well, and Justin Trudeau did say that these blockades should be taken down and removed. He did say that, but for some reason, word's not getting down to the RCMP, the police people, and so like okay, so he already said so, but no one said anything. There was even a reporter going there like saying like, well, the higher up said that it's time to go, and it's like, well, we didn't hear anything from our superior. So then so what's going on here? Either the police have decided they're not going to listen to the government,
Or the government's
or
issuing orders and not telling anybody else. Yeah.
yeah, or they're telling the media, oh yes, it's going down, it's got to get taken down, but then they're not doing nothing.
Yeah. Man,
So-
if Trudeau gets elected again after this, that's a fucking amazing thing.
Still shocked he got reelected, man.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was actually really surprising.
Should have seen the stream that I did that morning when I started.
I remember you started yelling at me as soon as I came in there. It's like, you said he'd be gone. You said he'd be gone. You lied.
So did Futter, for
told
that
me.
matter, too. Hopefully you get some yelling in at Futter.
Well, you would think when someone is someone's been accused or proven to have blackface multiple times, let an entire city go up in flames, record deficits. I mean, not deficit. I mean, spending and everything. This should have been a cakewalk for the Conservatives, and they were just being limp-wristed little pansies throughout the whole way. That's why he won.
Yeah.
They won a lot of, like, a vast majority of every other office, right?
Well, what part of the other problem is our election process because we go on the number of seats, and some provinces have more seats than others. So essentially, it doesn't matter that the majority of the country voted Conservative. If you went by the amount of votes, the Conservative Party should have won. But because it goes on the seat-based process, because of the amount of seats, that's why Justin Trudeau just barely won. That's why he has a minority government. So, yeah. So I don't know. I think we need to throw away our whole system and just go on the amount of votes. I don't know. Not to mention, if you look at the graph of the provinces, like almost every province went in a completely different direction. Like the government the country is so fractured right now. It's like an explosion occurred. Everyone's going their own way.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that. Well, I guess given Portland, I shouldn't be surprised. Yeah. That so many police just won't do their fucking job. Like. Or are being prevented from doing their fucking job. In so many areas, because it's like everybody's agreed on these laws. That's the whole point of why they're laws. We basically arrived at these through the process of like choosing our representatives and having our representatives go and make laws with other representatives that we can all follow. And now suddenly they can just not fucking enforce them. And I'm not talking about like Just Portland, and I'm not talking about just Portland in the fact that they're not taking out Antifa. I'm talking about like Portland and California and other states that are starting to come down to it, where they're like not prosecuting like shoplifters or petty theft if they can claim it was of something that they needed or something like that or whatever. Like there's all these laws that are just going unfucking enforced.
Dude,
like,
as long as it's under $2,000.
yeah, something like that. And then there's also a lot of stuff with homeless people where they're just not kicking them out of like public places. So they're setting up like these huge public camps, and like just throwing like
break it into a vehicle.
Yeah, and the crime that comes with those homeless communities is pretty overwhelming to any community they get into. It just blows my mind. Like the basic laws that are not being enforced that put just everyday people at risk, you know.
I don't know why people are not leaving that fucking piece of shit garbage state. But the problem is people are fucking moving to Texas and trying to contaminate our fucking beautiful state and turn it into shit like California.
Even though you're in Florida.
I'm still a Texan. I'm a Texan for life, bitch.
I'll tell you what, dude. If I move to Texas, it's not going to be as a fucking liberal. I'm not going to go there and start voting for the fucking left. I'll be voting conservative like they fucking need.
That's the fucking fucked up thing is they leave California because of how fucked up the shit is.
And
then they want to turn Texas into California,
place.
Dude. Yeah.
It's like, how retarded can you be? Well,
should quarantine all of them in Austin.
Didn't work here. Maybe it'll work over there. Maybe it was just there's too many fucking trees. Socialism and trees don't work, but socialism and deserts should work fine. It's a fucking nightmare. Well, I think it's starting to turn, though. I really genuinely do, because it looks like Bernie Sanders is going to be the left-wing candidate and have, like, virtually no support nationwide.
Well, there's always the guy who most likely is going to steal it.
Bloomberg's going to buy it.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the one.
I think he's just I
think Bloomberg is going to... He's going to steal it. I think he's going to steal it. If not, Bernie's gonna win. Although my prediction was Warren. I was 100% sure it was gonna be Warren who was gonna win it, but nope.
I thought Biden would be the most likely outcome, but not that either apparently. Oh, 174. No, I didn't leave Texas for California. I said if I moved to California.
He's always lived there. It's not his fault.
Oh no, yeah, oh no. Gaming is in Florida, not California.
Hell no.
Yeah.
I assume you didn't move to Florida of your own volition, right? There?
Nope.
Yeah.
My entire family's here, so.
Yeah. No, I was saying if I moved to Texas, Jesus, I would never be fucking voting for California shit. Even though I'd have to deal with weed being illegal again. You know? Like I can handle that. Oh, did you guys hear about the kid in Australia that was getting made fun of?
Yeah,
the kid.
Yeah, and how he just got like what $100,000.
A little over $100,000
for a fucking trip.
That's what I had heard. It was like well over 300,000.
Oh, let me look it up. How much did Brad Williams raise for Midget Kid?
For a trip to Disney World.
That
had to be a con job right there.
Well, yeah, isn't he actually like 18
all the money
or 19?
goes to the kid.
Isn't he an adult dwarf?
Yep.
Yeah. Brad Williams is funny as hell, too. He's a good comedian. More than 250,000 is the latest that I can see here.
Hey, father.
No, I've seen more than 430,000.
People are fucking suckers, but man,
I see the number all over the place. I see everywhere. So far, I see as low as 140,000 and as high as 430,000. So the kid is going to get a trip to Disneyland and then basically like a bunch of fucking money in a trust fund, essentially.
Mm.
That dwarf kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, if Brad Williams is very much legit, like I don't doubt that he legitimately is going to make sure the kid gets the money. He's actually a pretty decent guy. And fucking hilarious as a comic too. Oh, the kid is 19 years old?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Yeah, he's actually an adult. He's just fucking conning.
Oh, dude, that'd be so fucked up.
Well, I mean, I don't believe that. Because if it was real, then their government could easily step in and send him to prison for fraud. I don't believe that for a minute.
It's Australia. I'm sure they're
Well, they
all...
got enough money to bribe him now.
Yeah, because apparently the kid is supposedly like 8 or 9 years old, so that's pretty easy to figure out if that's true or not when it comes down time to look at all the paperwork. I suppose if that happens, they just send all the money back in the GoFundMe.
I think they can.
Brad Williams is legit a rapist? I've never heard that.
Yeah, it was apparently him and Mencia. Mencia was gonna fuck this chick, and they did the Houdini, where you fucking tag in another dude to fuck the bitch.
Fucking wow.
I think he literally told that on stage as a fucking
fucked up, dude.
one of his fucking jokes, dude.
It's funny as a joke. That's not really funny if you do it in real life. Like, Jesus. Fucking just like don't tell the chicken
admitting to it,
dude to bang her. Like, the fuck?
Admitting to it on stage, dude. Pretty fucking bold.
Oh no, I see a funny nut.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple minutes.
Oh, hey, man. I've been looking at the chat, so I haven't seen the Discord to see who's on.
So, what's new?
We're all going to die.
Talking about coronavirus stuff.
Yeah, the coronavirus is going to get us all, man.
God
damn. That and the fucking blockades, that blows my mind. I did not know you guys had that going on. That's some crazy shit.
Was it the... what was it, like the subway stations?
No, our National Railroad.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, and it was basically like the cops didn't take it down, right? It was like regular civilians, right?
Yep.
Well,
regular
took that one.
citizens finally
That was one of the blockades. There's other blockades throughout the country.
Yeah, and the fucking protesters really know how to get on everybody's bad sides.
Oh no, the East still thinks that they're freaking doing the right thing.
Yeah, but there's ways to go about it that don't just irritate people.
Well, and they have like,
massively inconvenience people.
The news media is going around saying that it's that these people are just the Aboriginals and they need help and that they're paying them with a sob story. Well, at the same time, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're saying that these oil field workers are a bunch of racists and stuff like that.
Oh, I've seen those posts.
I haven't. I have not. I've chosen to just not pay attention to any mainstream media. I just get all my stuff from YouTube.
Oh no, I saw those posts on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, you know what? The whole pipeline that they're like protesting against had 100% of the natives' electoral approval.
Mm-hmm.
But because the what do you call those? The Indians that used to be chiefs, or their grandparents used to be chiefs, they object. So now it's no good for Indians.
Yeah.
So even at that, it also throws a wrench into any future approvals of who do you go? Ancestral chiefs. Who do you go to approval? Like, who does the government go to approval for? Do they go to the rightfully elected natives, or do they go to, oh, your grandpa was a chief fucking 10 decades ago? Is it all right with you?
That's fucking dumb. Yeah. It should be whoever they elected. It really shouldn't be anything else. Although then again, I'm against the whole. I don't know if you guys do it the same way as California, or not California, it's the U.S. where we have like Native Americans have like their own sovereign territory. Like, I'm against that. That should.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I don't really care if they have their own sovereign territory, but if they want to have their own sovereign territory and fuck over the rest of Canada, maybe they should have their own sovereign passports.
I'm fine with them owning the land. I just don't think it should be a sovereign territory. I think it should be just same subject to the same laws as everywhere else.
Yeah, I agree.
And we should stop paying like all the insane amounts of money just to like give them a free ride.
I don't see why any of this happens because first of all, I mean, sorry to tell you the sad story, but they're conquered people. They're why should we reward people who have been conquered? You know, fuck them.
I think the system we have now keeps them in poverty as opposed to like encouraging them to become part of society and like have better lives.
Yeah, it's kind of removed all incentive
work a job, go to college, actually fucking have a good life. You know, like why would we not want to incentivize that more? And take away the free ride shit because that just makes it like why would they bother when they can just fucking drink and get free money?
Yeah. Well, and also like if you have like pipelines and oil stuff, it creates jobs and opportunities for these people.
Yeah.
Gives them a life that they couldn't have before.
There's a ton of opportunities, man. I just don't think that sovereign territory is the way to make it work. That just seems real dumb to me.
No, and here's the thing about like where you were saying it kind of keeps them down in poverty. It's the same as like the welfare housing. Mm-hmm. You guys have it. You call it the projects or whatever. You know what? When you group a whole bunch of people that are living off the system in with a whole bunch of other people living off the system and none of them have to get up to go to work, all you're doing is incentivizing them to stay on that system and hang out with their fucking friends. They don't know of the better, like they don't see the better life that's going for them. They end up having the one or two fucking people there claiming victim status, so all of a sudden they all have to be victims.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is creating a larger welfare state. Like, I think that welfare is needed. I think that low-income housing is needed, especially in today's day and age. But
yeah,
I think
we have low-income housing. The projects is more of just like, that's where all the poor people live together, and it's called the projects. Because the ghetto is not in... We don't call it the ghetto anymore, so...
Okay, well, whatever.
But you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. It's the low income housing.
Rather than building a whole bunch of projects, how about you just invest in apartment buildings that are already up in the middle class areas or lower middle class even areas where people have to go to work every day, and all of a sudden these people that are sitting at home on welfare using the system or abusing the system rather than using it. They wake up and they see all their neighbors are gone.
A big part of the problem...
2 a.m. to party with every night.
A big part of the problem is that in the U.S., the jobs just aren't there. They've all ended up in China and India. Like, there's not a lot of jobs.
Not for long.
Yeah, not for long. But I'm just saying, like, right now, like, if you
Well, from what I hear,
the jobs you can get don't pay for the rent.
Well, from what I hear, Wuhan's going to have a labor shortage.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. But I like the idea. I don't know where the jobs would come from. That's the part of the equation that seems to be missing right now.
Well, and I think some of the other people are going to be getting their employment through like India or something. That's probably where because China's going to have a big problem with their economic status.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure they'll find some way to make it work, but for the foreseeable future, I foresee them having a lot of problems in the future.
Yeah. Well, it's like they talk about raising minimum wage over and over and over, and I don't think that's... I just don't think fixing minimum wages is going to change anything, because anytime you raise wages, cost of living goes up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I actually think that they should abolish minimum wage.
I don't know about abolishing minimum wage.
Well, no, everybody knows
I think if they wanted to make a real difference in people's lives, give them an extra day off. Make 32 hours a week the new official full-time shift.
32 hours. That's the official full-time.
I thought it was 40.
No.
Oh, 40 is full-time where I'm at. So. Oh, they must have lowered it because the fucking companies were giving people part-time work instead of full-time to get away from benefits.
I'm pretty sure It's always been 32 hours, the minimum requirement of being called a full timer.
Not in California. Cause,
Not where I'm
no,
from.
literally, because when I worked, the second job I had when I was like 19 was working at Costco Tire Center, and I was part time working 39 hours a week. Like there was very specific not to give me full time because they didn't want to give me benefits, and so I got 39 hours a week. So I know, and that would have been.
You know what? Even for the U.S., like where you guys go through that
1999.
Medicare for all,
Huh?
or where you guys went through like the Obamacare, Medicare for all thing. You know what I'd almost do is I would almost look at the Canadian system, but you charge everybody still the insurance premium.
Mm.
Like if you look at the Canadian system, although we don't directly pay it anymore, we used to have to directly pay our healthcare. Essentially that $44 a month that everybody had to pay, just your taxes got raised $50 a month. Essentially is what it was. And where you guys all look at Canada like, oh, you have the best healthcare in the world. No, we don't. We have shit. Nothing's covered other than like essential doctor's visits.
Well, the left wing looks at Canada and says they have the best medical care in the world.
Like people are surprised that we have to pay for prescriptions or optical or full price for dental. It's like that's
dental's the one that gets everybody, man.
Yeah, dental insurance is fucking awful, dude.
If there's one thing, if you have kids, if there's one thing you can get your kids to do to fucking make their life better,
brush their teeth.
Get them to brush their fucking teeth every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stress that to my son all the fucking time.
And like, you know, and I know when I was a kid, I was like, God, why do my parents give such a shit about brushing my teeth? Like, what the fuck's wrong with them? And now I know it's like, oh yeah, because fucking.
Oh, I got horrible teeth. I wish that I had better ones. Teeth actually affect more than just your mouth.
Oh yeah, no, I've been there, dude. I got so bad I had an abscess once where like I couldn't fucking open my mouth all the way, so the only thing I could eat was like soup and cottage cheese.
Gross.
And that was fucking painful as fuck.
Well, I had a couple of my back teeth broke off, like broke in half. And I didn't have any dental coverage and I didn't have any money, so now I just have half teeth in my back. And it's annoying as fuck because food always gets caught in it.
Oh, that sounds really fucking painful.
Jesus.
Oh, it can be. I think all the nerve endings are just dead now.
You didn't get like Blue Cross coverage?
No.
Why not?
Because I made too much money.
Do you want me to just like come down there and visit with a pair of pliers, man?
No. No, like
I'm
when
pretty
that
good with a
happened,
pair of pliers, I'll tell you, man. You'd be surprised.
when that happened was still when my ex was claiming that she had the kids.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, in all reality, I still had them. So what I was making, I was raising 2 kids on. But as far as the government saw, is I was a deadbeat dad and I made too much money.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So, and over the years, it's just been like, okay, it flares up a couple times a year, causes extreme pain and problems, but I should probably go to the dentist. I do have coverage now.
I would.
You might consider it. Maybe
I also
fucking
have
it might be a good
back
idea.
of your fucking mouth.
Well, I also have an irrational fear of dentists.
Have you ever had a fucking abscess?
Yes.
Oh God! Don't fucking wait. Then go. You fucking know what's gonna happen.
You can. I would say because I also have like anxiety and stuff when it comes to dentists. I have an appointment coming up this Tuesday actually. I would say go to like your local doctor, pay $20. I think it's like $20. Tell them to give you this thing called Ativan, and then take a cab home. what it is it's this little pill that you put underneath your tongue. It dissolves and it'll just mellow you right out. But
Huh.
you'll be a little too calm for the rest of the day, and you may just have to nap away.
Ativan is the medication I had for fucking my anxiety and
Yeah,
panic attacks when I was having them still.
yeah. I got them too. So I'll be taking one come Tuesday.
Ativan is pretty good stuff.
Well, it's good,
It's
but
not
I
too
hate
bad
it.
either. It's not like too like I can't imagine getting addicted to it, but I guess people can.
I don't know about getting addicted to it, but I mean, if you don't have proper like methods or whatever to deal with anxiety, I mean, you'll rely on it like a crutch. I don't think you'll get addicted, but you'll use it more often than you should.
I don't know if it would help for just to be able to go see a dentist.
Yeah,
Sure.
it'll help for that. I mean, your anxiety is still what it is, and because you've waited so long, you'll be more jumpier than you should be. But
Well, I
I
actually
mean,
haven't been to a dentist since I think I was like 12 or 14.
yeah, you're gonna want to go sooner rather than later.
Your
So
parents didn't
Samaj,
force
your
you?
job is now to go to Futter's house, get him incredibly wasted until he doesn't know where he is, and just take him to the dentist. Just tell him, look, he's already got all the pain killed. He drank more than enough. Just fucking pull the
Yeah,
teeth.
just fucking roofie him, dude.
Fuck, I haven't even been drinking, guys.
Well, no, that's why Samaj has to go down there and get you drinking.
Except I'm taking a break from drinking. I'm actually trying to like do something for my health.
All right, so Samaj, you're gonna need a fucking
He's a fucking
sap
quitter.
and a handful of those Glenlivet little fucking packets of whiskey. And some fucking Vaseline. So you just hit him in the back of the head with the sap. That'll put him out for a while. Insert a few of those up the old rectum, and he'll be drunk as fuck.
I don't know. That sounds kind of gay to me.
Oh, I forgot that Glenlivet made like whiskey
Those
Tide
fucking
Pod.
whiskey packet things. Fucking Tide Pod whiskey.
Like
Oh yeah.
they weren't a low brand. Like
They're
they
a
weren't.
big brand of whiskey.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Oh,
Like I would expect that out of a cheap whiskey, but not like fucking a higher end or at least a middle of the road end whiskey. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah. What's the world coming to? That was one thing that got me about that was like whiskey is sort of supposed to be like a fancy like sipping at a party drink, not like a
Scotch.
oh scotch.
Scotch.
Okay.
Like it's still a form of whiskey, but like when you have Scotch, like say you go and you get a Glenlivet 18, right? It's a pricey fucking bottle. But the thing is you don't mix it with anything. You just drink it straight or on ice. Like for me, I drink it pressed. But even that, it's not something that you get drunk off of. It's a sipping like after a nice meal drink. I'm willing to bet you if you got freaking liquored off Scotch, you'd be stuck in bed for a couple days afterwards, or at least next to the toilet.
One Steph had posted a link to a video in there about the little midget kid proving that he's like an adult, and it's like, look, man, these days I tend to lean towards all those supposed hate crimes are fake. If anybody has even a little bit of evidence, because that's what it's turned out to be like almost every fucking time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. But so what's suspicious that the kid's literally talking how he wants to fucking kill himself, in what ways, and she's not like consoling him or doing anything. I don't know, man. She could just be a horrible parent, which is most likely the case.
Or the kid, or
kind
the
of a
midget
given.
could actually be a 19-year-old who just looks fucking young because of a weird disorder. So
Yeah,
yay,
that definitely happens.
party time.
Yeah.
I just
Andy
at this point,
Milonakis.
I tend to lean towards everything is fake. So many of them are, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, any hate crimes, any of that. You're going to be right a vast majority of the time if you assume it's a fucking hoax.
Yeah.
Which ones have been real so far in the past couple
I
weeks?
don't think any of them. But I'm sure
That's what I'm
one
saying,
or two
dude.
that maybe I haven't heard of have been true. I think the vast majority
ones
of
that
the ones
didn't
got
make
big
the
were
news?
all fake.
Mm.
So basically, if it made the news, it's probably fake.
Yeah, because it was all just like propaganda to try to fuck Trump. Because they
Except
all
I'm
want
not.
to claim that Trump's
I'm
all
not
Trump
convinced that
supporters are
Trump's
racist. You know, anybody that's voting for Trump is a racist piece of shit, like dumb, poor white guy. And
Yeah, I'm not even convinced that Trump's racist.
He's not. Trump's a fucking liberal.
I don't think anyone's convinced that Trump's racist. The media is just trying to spin something.
Yeah,
It
yeah. It's
doesn't
just
work.
they were trying to spin like there was a rush of hate crimes when Trump took office because all the racist white people felt freer to commit the crimes now. Is supposedly what they were trying to sell.
Nah, it's pretty fucking ridiculous.
But Trump's a fucking left wing guy. Trump has
And
always been a liberal Democrat.
And here's
He's
the
been
other
a
thing.
business Democrat.
Yeah, there's literally footage of him saying, fucking many years ago,
Yeah.
saying that if he did ever run for president, that he'd do it as a Republican.
Yeah.
No,
Despite,
the first time he ran, he actually ran as a Democrat.
Yeah.
Well,
Who,
actually,
Yeah.
Trump was a Democrat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was a Democrat supporter. I didn't
Trump
think
is
he was.
still a Democrat. Like the policies that Trump is enacting are old school business Democrat.
Yeah. He was on Oprah saying...
classic liberal, like they say.
He was on Oprah saying something along the lines of the only reason I'd become a Republican is if people are dumb enough to vote for me.
I'm not at all surprised.
Like, it was something kind of where the only way I'm going to become a Republican is if everybody in this country turns retarded.
And
Paraphrase.
look what happened.
Yeah, pretty
And he's a Republican.
prophetic.
But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like he none of the policies, like he's very few of his policies are very strictly or strictly conservative. You know, some of it is like the taxes, but those are also the same as, you know, business Democrats from the fucking 90s.
Step too far, he says Trump never ran until 2016. He is correct. Trump never ran, but you don't have to run to be a part.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't remember him actually running for office any other time.
Let's see something. See if I can find that quote.
He might have dipped his toe in the water and then like realized that nobody was going to support him. Like put the word out.
Yeah,
like
I think it was the first time he actually made a serious run at it. Was this time.
Oh, he steps too far, hates Trump. Never Trumpers. Get ready for another 4 years, man, because there's no fucking way the Democrats have anything that's going to beat Trump this year, sadly.
Well, if the coronavirus does become a pandemic, there won't be an election. He's just going to enact martial law and stay in control until the problem's been dealt with.
Yeah.
But then that's probably what the Democrats are going to use against him. He's going to be such a tyrant. He wrestled control. He knew he was going to lose. That's why he did this.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's what.
While
That's how
people
it's
are
going to
dying in the
play out.
streets, the Democrats will be trying to pretend he's just a racist fucking piece of shit instead of like getting together and trying to keep as many people alive as possible. You know what I mean? Like working together, which is what should be going on.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying, like I can see the politicians are going to try and use this as to their advantage. Some might say that they're doing this on purpose. They made sure they got loose because they would use it against them. But others are like, he's not. Democrats are not that smart. Like I would believe you, but they're very vindictive and they don't look at the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
So I think if they could do something this stupid, but it'll ruin them, just ruin them. Like the Democratic Party will completely disappear, and we're gonna have to get a new party.
Well, if you look at the last two major speeches Trump gave, the fucking now I can't remember it. The basically the one where he addresses the nation, State of the Union. State of the. I think they were both State of the Union addresses, but like both of the last two really big speeches he gave, the independents overwhelmingly support him, and that's the part that's a number that really matters, because most people that are registered Republican, like 99.99999% are all going to vote for Trump. And all the Democrats at like 99.999 are all going to vote for whoever the left puts up, regardless of who it is. It might be Bernie, it might be somebody else, and it's the independent voters are the ones that really matter, because they're the ones that'll swing different states, and they overwhelmingly love Trump. So like it's really unlikely that anybody else can seem to be able to come even close.
Speaking of,
that's what's so insane about the way the fucking Democrats kind of pander towards the extremes, is you're not fucking you're like pandering to the people that are gonna vote. What? Like you're not even trying to court the independent vote.
hey,
it's fucking crazy to me.
I actually have something to say about your guys' election. I really wish that AOC was old enough to be president. Because that would have been that would have been a blockbuster.
Oh, dude, I think honestly,
AOC up against Trump.
I think if AOC literally ran for president, like say she was 35 and ran for president, I genuinely don't know that she would make it to the end of the election. I think there's too many people who would be too terrified that would just be like, we got to take her the fuck out.
I don't know.
I'm not even talking about like just crazy like lone Republicans. I think like people that fucking own businesses would be like, we got to make sure this bitch's brakes get cut. We gotta fill her hotel room with like monoxide or some shit. Like there would be like very wealthy people who are like, we cannot let AOC take control of the fucking country.
Come on, you have to admit
she'd be the first person to die of natural causes at that age.
I think they would just throw money at her, and
I think they would just fucking kill her.
I think she would take the bribe. I think she would just take it.
Could be.
Oh no, or like Will showed me before, Vermin Supreme. I like him.
Of course you would. You're Canadian.
No, I just think it's fucking hilarious. Vermin Supreme, free pony.
God damn it.
Oh, one step too far. Nobody's talking about whether we agree with Trump or not agree with Trump. We're just saying he's going to get elected.
Yeah, I don't think anybody.
The reality is, that's what's going to happen. It's
what we want. I still hold out slim hope that he's fucking gonna do a fucking heel turn. Because the shit, like you mentioned, dude, like the anti-Semitic speech and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
It's fucking really concerning. Going after the Second Amendment. Again, it doesn't seem likely at this point, but I don't know. I'm still holding out hope. Like the second term, he's actually gonna fucking.
I'm not super
that shit
for
off.
or against Trump. I don't think
I was in the beginning, man.
Lose, yeah.
I was super for him really good at first.
I wanted to see him go fucking just shake the tree.
I don't know. I like his policies. Yeah. Like his economic policies. I could actually agree with most of them.
Oh, the economic, the taxes and stuff, but that's just basic conservative stuff. That's like he basically had to. Oh yeah. It's one step. We're not taking anything personal. I'm just saying like what we're talking about isn't necessarily like liking or disliking Trump, because there's like, I mean, if you go into Trump's policies, there's so many things to like and there's so many things to dislike. It's pretty, there's a lot of both.
Well, wouldn't that?
Yeah, I still feel like he's better than any alternative.
Well, he's better than Hillary would have been for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Hillary would definitely have gotten us into some sort of war at this point.
I mean,
Well, she
Bernie
probably-
Sanders is a piece of shit. He's a fucking trash.
Scary.
and
He fucking says, "Oh, the rich have too much power." I'm like, "You're rich. Shut the fuck up. You have 3 houses, you piece of shit." And then he's like,
Yeah.
tells Bloomberg, "Oh, Bloomberg's a billionaire. That's immoral." The fuck? Do you understand what immoral means? You stupid old piece of fuck. Go back to fucking Russia with your
You old
honeymoon, you
piece of
piece of
fuck.
shit.
Oh, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking
Bernie
shocking.
Sanders is terrifying just because he's straight up a socialist, like just a flat out socialist, and that's something we don't want.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about him is he's actually being honest. Like he's a fucking idiot because he's a socialist, but like he actually believes his fucking nonsense, dude. That's what's terrifying. That's what I.
Oh man, I can't wait to see the fucking insanity that this next election brings. Though altogether, that's gonna be fucking insane. And then
because people are gonna flip out just like they did.
I really hope that they have an election and Trump runs and wins, because if he does assume martial control because of like a pandemic, which is what you would normally expect the president to do, like that's what should happen in that case. You know, you don't need to transfer power at that time. There's too much other stuff that needs to be dealt with. Like it's not a safe way to handle it. But like, because I can imagine the left using that as an excuse to just not enforce any of the rules about keeping people from like fucking catching the coronavirus or dying. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but something that could potentially wipe out the. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Like, I could see that being an excuse that the left uses to just not enforce any of the laws or executive orders that come around because of it. And it just being a complete disaster, and then coronavirus just running rampant through the U.S. and killing a ton of fucking people. So I'm really hoping we get the election. But who knows? Oh yeah, you know what we got? What you got to get now is you can go out and buy these big metal bins that like have a step lid, and just you can fill them with like 50 pounds of rice. That's what you got to get. Get you that one of those for rice and one for beans, because that's what all the preppers do. By the way, it's just rice and beans.
Yeah, that shit lasts forever, right?
Yeah,
That's great though. I love Mexican food.
Oh man, I don't
know if you know this about Mexican
Can you
food,
imagine?
but
Because like
it's
some of
heavy
these
on the
people-
rice and beans.
Let me be clear. Some of these people have upwards of 1,000 pounds of rice and beans in their fucking basements.
Yeah, I've seen that shit, dude.
Yeah,
Fucking
they'll
nuts.
have food till the end of time, and it'll be the most boring fucking meal every single day.
Yeah, you'll be alive.
Yeah,
That's
if you're
what
gonna
counts,
store,
I
if you're gonna
guess.
store large amounts of food, just stock up on the stuff you normally eat that you can store. Like, have 10 cans of chili just instead of like only buying one when you want one. You know, it's not that hard. Because then it's food you'll actually eat and not feel shitty about eating, or end up with all sorts of weird like digestive issues.
Indeed.
Oh no! I'm sorry. Did I kill the conversation?
I'm wondering why War Thunder's not freaking loading.
War Thunder. Oh, I haven't played War Thunder in so long. Oh, I remember Fireball's Whiskey Samaj. Oh yeah, that shit. That was good. That Fireballs. And then fucking.
Atomic Fireball. The cinnamon.
It was like the cinnamon shit. Like that was so good.
Wasn't that Fireball?
Yeah, Fireballs. It came in a different package in the U.S. It looked very different. Like yours actually looks like a whiskey, whereas the California or the one that we got in California looked like a child's toy.
Huh.
Oh, one step too far. Do we ever talk about comics here?
Fuck off.
Oh yeah.
Man, the new
we get a lot of
Spider-Man
in-depth
one
comics
that's coming
talk.
out is pretty good, man.
Yeah, when Satan and Satire and Samaj get going, they fucking and Deitwa, they all really know comics.
Well, I don't know as much as I used to, but yeah, we definitely talk about it. Fucking A.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Do we ever cover sports?
No, not
Yeah,
really.
you know that team that won? That's fucking awesome, and I like them.
I just don't follow, so I don't want to watch sports, so I don't follow it. But I've heard. I think we cover stuff occasionally. Like what was that one? That basketball player died in a helicopter and shit like
Is
that.
that really talking about sports though?
True, that's not. Yeah, I have no objection to talking about sports. I just don't know anything about it, other than like the basics.
The sport I like is auto racing. So.
Oh yeah, I know absolutely nothing about auto racing. Nothing at all. Isn't that like the basically they just make a lot of like right turns or something, or it's like all left turns?
Well, no, there's different kinds of racing. It's not all just oval.
Are you talking about like NASCAR, or are you talking Formula?
Well, there's Formula, there's Rally Car, there's Pro.
Oh my God, we're not gonna get into this.
And either answer was fine.
You know, fuck you guys.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. I'm just gonna hang back and be stoned.
So what's the difference from any other moment?
Nothing. Oh man. But soon, April, I want to do that karaoke stream. In April,
You're gonna do a karaoke stream again?
I want to get for my birthday. I figure get a few people together and do like a karaoke stream on the Twitch Sings thing, because it's such a pain in the ass with the content bans and shit on YouTube. I can't imagine how you would do it here. But supposedly you can get anywhere from like 1 to 4 people at a time doing songs together on Twitch Sings if you want.
Really?
Supposedly, I have to look into it. I start broadcasting on it at least once or twice just to test it out, see how it works. Oh, he contracts with DC occasionally. Right on, dude. For the comics, that's pretty cool, man.
For who?
One step too far. He's a balladeer.
Balladeer. I've never heard that before.
I have no idea. Yeah. Like, I like comic book movies and shit, and I used to read comic books a little bit when I was a kid, but I'm not as big of a comics fan as like you and Deitwa and like Satan.
Yeah, Stabby's too cool for it now.
No, Stabby just never really got into it. I was more into just reading like heavy like novels and shit. Like I started out in kindergarten reading the Lord of the Rings series.
I better hear about like the Fantastic Four making a cameo in this new Black Widow movie. Otherwise, I'm not gonna go. Like, you want me to risk my life? You better give me the Fantastic Four.
Dude, just watch a screener. Movies 1, 2, 3, man. It's not worth it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. The Marvel movies are gonna. I can just feel it.
Yeah. Well, like that's how I watched the what is the Harley Quinn and the
Birds of Prey.
Birds of Prey or whatever. Yeah, I watched a screener on like a website. I didn't actually go pay for it because there's no fucking way I'd pay for that movie.
God, you're pathetic.
What? I just wanted to see it. I was curious as to how bad or good it would be.
Yeah,
I genuinely thought it was a different actress the entire time. I did not realize that was the same actress.
I'm sure there had to be 1 or 2 actresses with really big ears, so you're like probably fapping to that.
No, I thought it was pretty fucking bad, man. The movie altogether was like they were like, I guess we're done.
Here's the real question: which one had the biggest ears?
Fuck off.
Like you said, my son said it was again, like I said, he's making out with his chick half the movie, so that's going to give you a positive, impression either way.
Impression of the movie.
That he is
It
proud.
was boring. There was no
Sounds a little
there was
fucking
no
Mac.
tension to the film. You knew exactly what was going to happen because they didn't really put any effort into it, and they just were like, all right, here's what we need to have happen. All right, we did it, done. It kind of had that feel to it.
Yeah, shit happens a lot nowadays, man.
Well, there's no original movies out there. Like nothing really good originality. Nothing like. It's like you've seen it. You've seen it all. It feels that way.
Well, I think that's because studios just aren't paying for things that are new. Like
Yeah.
they're
Well,
only
they're-
willing
they're
to pay
so
for
it-
people to remake old shit that they know they can make a profit off of.
There are a
Yeah,
lot of movies-
it's not wanting to take any risks, and considering how much money they have, goes into fucking movies nowadays. I don't know if I fucking really blame them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, there have been a few blunders in movies that people look back to and think, yeah, we're not taking that risk. Like, have you guys ever called a movie called Ascending
No.
or
What?
Valerian?
Called what?
Or Jupiter Ascending?
Jupiter Ascending. I did watch that. Yes.
Yeah, and then there was another one, Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets.
That was better than Jupiter Ascending, but they
So-
were both okay.
They both performed very poorly, and they were both huge budget movies. Like just they poured a lot of because they thought this was going to turn into a franchise, both of them, and it didn't go that way. They were huge flops. They
Well,
cost them
Jupiter
money.
Ascending, they needed to get a different main character.
With Jupiter
Mila Kunis
Ascending,
was just not the right person for that role.
I think the problem was the story because it's the same thing over and over and over again, like 3 different times. You have your main character, she gets kidnapped. These people come in and rescue her. And then they have a conversation. She gets kidnapped again, and then the same people have to go out to rescue her. And then she gets kidnapped again, and then they have to go in there. And the same people have to rescue her. Movie over.
So it's a sci-fi version of Mario Brothers.
It's a sci-fi version of
Another
Not that
castle.
fucking rooster again.
Oh,
Fucking
fuck,
rooster,
it is.
God damn it.
Dude, I have the ear things in, so I can. God damn it!
It's
What the fuck is
that
wrong with you?
Barely
Rooster,
fucking
it's the
midnight.
middle of
It's
the
not
night.
even 2. It's fucking barely after midnight here. Rooster.
God damn, dude, that is the most retarded rooster. It's
Like
like
5
the
hours
fucking middle-aged
early,
rooster had to get up and pee, so it's like, all right, I'm waking everybody up just because I had to pee.
Well,
know
since
what's
I'm up
actually
anyway.
I've seen some cool videos. This one's actually cool. Like when the eclipse occurs, and then like the eclipse moves away, so all the roosters start going crazy and start
Crowing
doing their
again.
morning thing because they think it's the morning time.
Oh my
That
God.
that is funny. That is cool. I like that.
I remember the last house we
I could
lived
try
in before
to,
this one. We had neighbors that had
know.
fucking roosters. Oh, that was the fucking worst. And it was
I could
like
put on some background noise, like the dryer. Start the dryer. What do you think, gaming? Throw some bricks in
I
there,
think-
some chain.
I think you need to start doing drugs.
I think he
Oh,
already
damn.
does drugs, doesn't he?
No, I've started doing the laundry in the afternoon. I don't have it just going on during the stream.
Is that what that is?
Is it that bad? Because I'll close the door, dude.
It's
Is
just
it
it's
distracting?
bizarre, dude. Why is this fucking rooster
No,
crowing?
it is
at
super
fucking
loud
midnight?
though, isn't it? I mean, it is loud as fuck.
It is pretty loud, yeah.
Look at that.
Okay, hold on. All right, let me go fucking close it.
It's not bothering me one bit. I just think
Yeah,
it's
I don't.
fucking-
Yeah, exactly. It's not as bad because when we had roosters that lived next door, it was like just a regular suburban neighborhood where your house is like 3 feet from the other fucking house. So it's not like it's not like out in the boonies where you have like 100 fucking yards between houses or something like that. It was right next door. Oh, not as bad as my buddy who lived out in the fucking a small unincorporated area. Because one of his neighbors, even though the guy lived a little further away, was raising peacocks. And I don't know if you've ever heard peacocks, but they're fucking awful. Yep. It's just this loud.
Fucking weird. It sounds like something in distress. Like something's fucking
really
getting
does.
attacked.
And they were super loud. Holy shit, you could hear them from a long way off, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a zoo I used to pass by all the time. Like not always, but I mean, it was
Yeah.
like it's in the middle
No
of
one's
the city.
asking about your sex life.
And you shut the fuck up with this fucking Canadian. But anyways, you would pass by, you could hear them, and then they were literally deep inside of the fucking zoo, but you could still hear those fucking birds. Yeah, they are very loud over almost
They're
every other
fucking
animal
odd.
there is.
And my buddy lived near a fucking farm where they raised them for like their feathers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Well, I mean the male ones at least.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, the females are fucking ugly.
The rooster is a crisis actor. He's watching 50 Goes West on VHS. There you go.
Ah, god damn it!
What?
I wanted to scratch my foot because it was I had like a little itch.
Oh, you said
And I
that close
fucking-
enough to when I said 50 Goes West that I thought that offended you, and I was very confused.
No.
Fuck Five-O.
I was like, damn, somebody don't
Fucking
like 50
bullshit.
at all.
Sounds more
I
like
never
someone-
cared for. I could say I never cared for that fucking movies.
sounds more like someone didn't like Jews.
I think there's like a very small percentage of people in the world that could actually self tickle themselves that actually work. I can literally tickle myself and I'll be like laughing and acting stupid because I could actually tickle myself. I know I was just trying to
That's a
scratch
weird
my
one.
foot and then I started like I'm ticklish to my own self. That's fucking
All right, so tickle fights with gaming. That's the.
no. I don't, you would get an uppercut. So.
Oh man, I'm just picturing like grown ass men having a tickle fight now.
You imagine two muscle men doing that.
Fucking amazing. You know they have like fucking crazy ass like professional tag now, right?
What?
It's all part of like the parkour thing. It's basically it's like a big ring with a bunch of fucking like monkey bars at different heights all over it, and they play tag.
Like tackle tag or something?
No, just like tag, where you gotta fucking tag them with your hand. That's it. They just play tag.
It's so retarded looking. I already saw
It's
like
crazy.
I didn't even saw a video. I saw a picture and I was like, wow, they look retarded.
It is pretty silly looking. Now if Joe Rogan ever get tickle fight. I'm sorry. I can see that happening though. Oh man.
Well, I mean, Joe Rogan would beat the fuck out of someone. Holy fuck, that guy is ripped.
But he's so like he's such a comedian. I could see him being willing to do like the tickle fight scene with some other muscle guy, you know? Like
Gaming finds your premise offensive.
maybe you know we don't know what happens when they go on those hunts out in the middle of the fucking woods, you know. Joe Rogan and his friends, you never know. There might just be a lot of tickle fighting going on instead of elk hunting.
You never know. I mean,
They
the
don't play
straightest
tag,
guys,
they punch faces.
the straightest guys out there are the biggest fags.
Oh man.
Sometimes
There's-
wonder.
Yeah, some of the fucking people in those gay pride parades with the fucking muscle dudes are pretty fucking scary looking. Like, it fucking hurt you.
Yay!
All right.
Oh man. So here we go. Random question. Who thinks what's the next book they make into a movie?
Curious George?
Did they already
Did
do
they
that?
do a Curious George movie?
I could swear they did that, but I wouldn't surprise me. I mean
They made an animated movie.
Oh, that sucks because I don't know. As awful as it would look, dude, I'd like to see the man in the yellow hat and just all decked out in fucking yellow. That'd be so fucking bizarre.
Yeah, it looks like 2006 animated movie, and then there's like a whole bunch of sequels to it.
I want to say Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, but I know they're working on a series right now, and I'm into it.
Didn't they already do a movie of that though?
Yeah, they did. It was a half and half kind of movie. Like half of it was the book, half of it was the original content. It was sort of okay, not good enough for a sequel.
Yeah, it was a movie that like if you change in channels, you'd probably stop and watch it.
Like they had
But you
some
wouldn't
good
like
things.
go out of your way to get it.
Like they had some good things in there. Like I love the design. The Vogons were amazing.
Suicidal
Jim
Robot,
Henson, the suicide, yeah, the pressed robot, yeah,
Depressed Robot, that was fucking great.
yeah. I even didn't mind Safe Hot Bebox, but I mean, it was just not all there. Like the world building was cool, but everything else was kind of meh.
Oh, I just watched a fucking weird romantic comedy with the actor that played Stephon Beaverbrox.
Well, that guy does do a lot of comedy. He was also the psychopath in the Green Mile. I don't know if you guys remember that one. That's that one Stephen King. That one book that he
That
wrote.
wasn't a Stephen King movie, was it?
Yep, that was Stephen King.
Based on Stephen King's 1996 novel of the same name.
Yeah.
Huh.
Well, and how do you tell that it's a Stephen King?
Because it was good.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Sam
and
Rockwell, right? That's who we're
Yeah,
talking
I think
about.
that was the. I think that's who we're talking about. Yeah, good actor.
Yeah, he was the movie I recently saw him was he was a hitman who decided that killing was wrong, so he would just kill whoever tried to hire him instead of killing the targets. And then it was like a romantic comedy where he ends up like finding like the right girl or something. I think it's called Mr. Right. It's
I
not a
think
new
I saw
movie.
that movie
Yeah, it's 2015.
on Netflix.
Yeah. It just came out on Netflix, but it was from 2015.
If I remember correctly, it wasn't actually all that bad of a movie.
It was a pretty fun movie with some really good little twists and turns, and it didn't have the standard ending. It had its own really good ending. Highly recommend.
One thing that's bugging me about freaking Netflix lately is all the dub series that they're bringing out, where it's the voiceovers.
Oh, what do you mean? Like, are
Like-
you talking about anime, or are you talking about like,
No, but that same concept.
of like dubbing over like what foreign films?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, part of the reason they do that is because a lot of people don't really want to read them, and I agree with that philosophy. With that said, though, that this sort of spilling into the anime concept, Netflix is pissing me right the fuck off because they have
really?
some phenomenal anime titles, just really good shit, but they're not airing on Netflix right now because their model is the binging model. And the problem is with a lot when you're making
They want to wait till the season's done in order to like put them up.
exactly. And the problem with that is like in order to see it, you have to go online. You have to go to pirate sites and everything just to watch it. So everyone's already seen it before it's aired on Netflix. So like you could have just aired it right now. Like they need to do what like simulcasting because they also need to make an English dub for it.
I think in the States they do that a lot more than they do here.
What simuldub?
Yeah.
No, well,
Comes out-
Funimation does it, and I think some companies that work for High Dive, but Netflix doesn't, and that's just it. Netflix they dish out the most and they have the best, but they will not do it because their model is the binging model, so they're waiting for it to be done. I'm like, I don't know, like there's a show right now called Beastars, and it is phenomenal, but they're not airing it here. I mean, they're not until it's done. So I don't
Never
know.
heard of it.
Well, yeah, it's a think Zootopia, except instead of like people having animal animal bodies. They mostly have human bodies with animal heads, for the most part. And every
Oh,
now and
okay.
then, someone who's a carnivore just can't resist the temptation to eat meat, and someone's going to kill someone else. And a lot of times, murders don't go getting solved because, like, well, half the population's carnivores. We can't lock up half the population, so it's like half the time you get away with it.
Sounds like a furry's paradise.
You could say that, but it's not furries in the sense like the problem with furries is that they tend to sexualize the characters. This one's more like a drama. So it's kind of like a murder mystery, except most of the population doesn't care about them. So yeah, and you're watching the main character who is a carnivore fighting the urge to eat little people, and then he ends up falling in love with a rabbit woman. But it's like he almost tries to kill her one time because of his urges. He's like, okay, I can't. Nope, not going to do that. And then he wants to open up to her because he's falling in love with her. But he's like, I tried to kill you one time. But I love you. It's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, he wants to eat her out, so I mean,
That's for sure.
Let's see. It looks like there's going to be a Watership. There's a Watership Down movie on Netflix.
Is it the old-fashioned movie or is it a new one?
I think it's a new one based on the rabbits.
Ooh, I might check that out. 'Cause I remember the first movie. That was fucked up.
Yeah, it does not look like a happy animated for the kids show, like at all.
Yeah, it's not. If you could see the original, it is horrifying to watch. Oh yeah, you can find trailers of the original. Oh, it's just as scary and bloody as ever.
In the
Yeah.
beginning, the great
I'll be
Frith
back. I'm
made
just
the
gonna
world.
listen to this trailer.
There you go.
So why would I need to stop?
just talk shit about the fucking Canadian while he's away.
I didn't know there was an animated White Fang movie. That's fucking trippy.
Animated what thing movie?
Yeah, White Fang. There's apparently an animated White Fang on Netflix. Apparently, since I typed in Watership Down, it decided, well, this starts with a W too, so it's part of the list of things that you don't want that are not in any way related to what you searched for. Let's see. Half of America's murderers are one race, and we don't seem to have a problem arresting more than the guilty ones easily enough, one step too far. I'm not sure what that's from, but I must have missed that. Or is that in relation to the animals, the animal story?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Oh, that's why you don't drive your tank looking on the scope. Oops.
Oh, man.
Like, I'm driving towards this other group of tanks, like the enemy tanks. I'm like, I know they got to be here. Leave my scope, and I'm like in the middle of all of them. And then I blew up.
It looks like an okay movie, but I don't know.
I'd never heard of it before, so to me it was like one of those things where I was watching the preview and I'm like, damn, this fucking movie is dark. Like, these are not happy rabbits. This is not happy rabbits in the happy field, not at all.
Yeah, no, it's an epic. It's a really interesting movie, but not a nice movie. Don't take your kids to it. Give them nightmares. They won't trust rabbits ever again.
Oh, I've seen fucking some lady when I went to go see Deadpool in the theaters brought her fucking like 2-year-old.
I saw that too. I never seen Deadpool and seeing a mother take a kid out.
Oh, and it wasn't long before the kid was crying too. It took forever for everybody to get her to get that fucking kid out of there. Ridiculous. And then I found one time I went to the theater and I found out that apparently they have parents' days where all the movies are played so low you can barely fucking hear them, and there's babies in every fucking theater. Like, I did not know they did that, but apparently some theaters do that. That was fucking obnoxious.
Why? You want it to be loud enough that it'll drown out the sound of crying kids.
I think it was like just a thing where like once a week for like one playing of each of the movies they have in the theater at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like one time they keep it super low so that people can bring their babies and go watch it, like, you know, so the housewives can get out and take their kids with them.
I don't know. It's kind of dumb to me.
Yeah. We'll have to wait. I'm sure like the next major film will just be like fucking pedophile push from the fucking left again.
Yeah, it seems to happen every six months or so, dude. So like, hey, let's test the waters on this fucking pedo shit again. Like, dude, it's never going to be accepted. God damn it! Fucking quit.
Well,
I mean, that fucking sparkly vampire movie series was pretty pedo fucking and successful.
Pedo friendly.
Sparky vampire.
I mean, there was a bunch of fucking ladies drooling over like a 17-year-old dude, and then fucking.
But he wasn't really 17.
But in the movie, his character was much older and was like fucking perving on a like 16-year-old girl in high school.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
you're how many hundreds of years
up.
old, and you can't you're fucking hanging out in some high school girl's room, watching her sleep. That's a little fucking weird.
And Twilight ended up like birthing the 50 Shades of Grey series. Ugh. That's just a show about rape.
Oh man.
They don't even teach you to beat women properly.
No, they don't.
Yeah, what's their fucking problem?
Fun times. Oh, he's saying something about doing some film work. Put the Joker in Batman versus Superman. Step too far. Putting a link up.
Yeah, they were trying to like jumpstart a cinematic universe, and it's like you gotta build up to that. It's the same thing with Suicide Squad. I mean, that was they tried to make a movie with like Joker and Harley Quinn and everything. It doesn't work because you have to introduce it to the normies. I mean, if someone like who grew up in the '90s, you know who Harley Quinn is. You watched the Batman cartoon show, you know who she is.
Animated series.
Yeah, exactly, the animated series. But if you didn't grow up with that and go to a movie, you don't know who this person is. And then the Birds of Prey happens. It's like she's all broken up because she's starting to joke around the thing anymore. But to anyone who's coming in who's never watched Batman the animated series, it's like, why does this matter? Why should we care?
I'll be honest, I wasn't one that watched the series, and I find that is the real thing, like what you're saying.
Yep. Well, it was a real thing, and people know that because they'll go in there, they comb social media, they wash out what's happening. No one knows what's going on. Why should we give a rat's ass?
Yeah.
Nobody cared, and yeah. Yeah, it was poor management. Although we'll see, because I mean, James Gunn is doing the Suicide Squad right now, the second movie, and that could probably be good. I trust James Gunn. He knows what he's doing.
I liked the first Suicide Squad movie, but I'm not as big of a comic book person.
I thought it was okay. I mean, to watch it one time only.
One time is pretty much all it ever gets.
Mm.
It like I remember watching the movie. It's like, okay, you introduced us to the characters. Okay, we got it. And then they did another character intro later on, and then they get out of prison and they go on their mission, and then they have another character intro. We just had 3 character intros, and we're not even halfway through the movie. It was a bit jarring. I've never seen that before. So when someone says like it's a mess of a movie, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Ben Affleck is Batman.
Well, he's not going to be Batman anymore.
Oh, did they? Thank God they fucking changed that.
Not really. The replacement is even worse.
Oh, who's the replacement?
Sparkly vampire.
Are you fucking? Wait, what?
You didn't hear about this? Yeah, no, the
What?
guy from Twilight. Yeah, he's the new Batman. They even got pictures of the new bat suit and everything.
And it looks horrible.
Robert
looked like-
Pattinson.
It looks like they.
my God! No.
It looks like they grabbed him by the fucking back of the head and slammed him into a wall until his face got flattened. That's
Some
how
people,
his costume looks like. His mask.
some people say he looks kind of like Daredevil.
Don't fucking dare insult Daredevil.
Robert Pattinson just doesn't have the fucking charisma to play that role.
Well, you haven't seen him in too many movies.
I think part of the other problem I have with it is I'm getting absolutely sick of the big clunky combat suit that they're making Batman wear nowadays. It was it was big in the video games, and I get that, but it's getting kind of old.
It looks
I'm
retarded.
You just want to see Adam West again?
Well, no, look, I don't.
You
maybe,
could dig Adam West right now, and he'll still look fucking better than Patterson.
I'm just saying, like, it looks like a bit much. Maybe just tone it down a little. Just have Batman be Batman. You know, climb up on. He doesn't have to be saving the world every movie. He could just be Batman.
Well, most of what made Batman interesting, at least in the original stuff, was that he didn't just stand there and take bullets. He'd be like fucking hiding in the fucking rafters and shit, throwing smoke bombs and fucking jumping in and out of fights without ever actually really getting into any like stand-up fights.
And kill every so often.
He is supposed to be the great detective.
Yeah,
He hides
it's
in a
always
shell.
more interesting to me when he fights by changing the odds in his favor as opposed to just being a really amazing fighter kind of guy.
His job is supposed to be in the shadows in order to gather information to solve crimes, murders, mysteries.
Well, it was originally like a take on Sherlock Holmes, right? I mean, I'm sure.
Exactly. And so that's why, I mean, we're going away from what he's supposed to be, and now he's supposed to be like big action star or something or other.
Yeah.
Like the action part is fun and all, but we need to know why it's called DC. And I don't think DC's even aware of what DC
and what
means.
made Batman so powerful was how far ahead of the other person he could be. Like mentally.
Well, he does that mostly because he does a lot of detective work.
Yeah.
He goes out there and gathers information because he's a detective. That's his job. The reason why he's so scary and so powerful and OP is because he went out and did research and found out who they are, what they got, how to beat them. He does all this stuff. And also, like, he's not super smart. That's the other thing. Like I said, he does his job as a detective, and he finds information.
Yeah.
That's how he wins. But somehow we've conflated that as smarts.
Oh, apparently, Step Too Far is a super, super big fan of Pattinson as Batman.
Well, and that
apparently
could
the
be
first suit gets burned by Firefly, the one we see, and then there's another suit after that.
I would hope so. I would hope so. I'm tired of this suit. I don't like it. Doesn't look good. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that on purpose. I will say though,
You come through it all, or is it just me?
What's that?
What?
Was he just silent that whole time, or was I imagining?
Who?
You.
No, I've been talking. Are you
No, I
still-
know, but I didn't think it was a little icon wasn't like.
I don't know. Chat, can you hear me?
Yeah, it must have just been me, my fucked up shit.
Okay.
Oh, apparently the entire trilogy is about him being a detective. It's a noir.
Well, and that would be good.
That would be really nice to see Batman go back to the roots, because that really is what made the story more interesting. Like, even the first movies with the... Oh, fuck, I can't remember his name.
I think a step too far is riding my ass about this kind of thing. I will agree with this. He's not supposed to be super smart. He's not supposed to be. He's smart, not super smart. He's supposed to gather information. That's how he gets it. He's a detective.
But he had that Sherlockian ability to be like 20 fucking steps ahead of his opponent, though.
Well, Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, well,
That was what made him powerful. Is he could gauge where what moves and what equipment to bring. You know.
well, yeah. Look, in Sherlock Holmes, he goes through a study of the criminal, figuring out what he's doing. The reason why he gets the idea that he's 20 steps ahead is because he's already knows what the guy's thing is, what he does. That's why he's 20 steps ahead. The whole thing is about finding out the mystery, finding out what he does, and then when the fight does occur, he knows exactly how he's going to fight because he already figured it all out beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is. But yeah, I'm a big Batman fan, and that's part of the reason why I feel the way that I do, because I'm watching people writing him as if he's a god, because we have like the Batmill storyline right now. I'm like, he's not a fucking god. He's just a detective. There's hundreds of detectives out there. It's just that he's also a vigilante. He'll do stuff that other detectives won't do because they're restricted by the law. That's part of the other appeal of Batman.
You know what they should actually bring back? Firefly.
Never going to happen.
I don't want to see them bring back Firefly. I want to see them make more stories in that universe.
Okay, step too far. I know about him in the Justice. Again, he went out there and gathered information about them because he knows that if mind control or some of the other stuff happens with the Justice League, a plan needs to be put in place to take them down. Because at any given moment, they could go rogue or be taken advantage of or whatever, and then the people have to fight against them. That's why he set up that initiative. But again, he did that by gathering information and finding out. I mean, the other advantage he has is money. That's the other thing. He's got lots of money.
Oh yeah.
I would say step into the Discord and duke it out with me, but it's kind of late. So tell you what,
I think you guys are arguing over like semantics. To be honest, like it's Batman is very intelligent, but he's not like super genius intelligent.
Yeah, I think that's all that
like you
Smodge
both
is
agree
saying.
he's very smart, just on the level of how smart that is where the.
Well, he's a jack of all trades, but a master of none. He's not like he's good at martial arts, but he's not a master martial artist. He's a great detective, but he's not like the best detective.
Yeah.
I mean, like part of the thing is like he'd get his ass kicked more often than he would win most fights. Even in the animated, yeah.
His real intelligence was not necessarily knowing everything, but knowing how to find the answer.
Yeah, I mean,
you know
he
what I mean?
said
Like, so like, you know, the real like he could figure out where to get the information to learn the new thing, you know? Mm-hmm. Really, really well.
Oh yeah, I mean he has years of experience, and that has really helped him in his career. Well, I shouldn't even call it a career. Vigilantism isn't something to aspire to. His only saving grace is he's got lots of money.
Oh, now it's the Discord. They're gonna duke it out in the Discord. Comic book fans going at it. I honestly, like, I'm not a huge fan. I love the comic book movies and the comic book shows and stuff, but I'm not nearly as into it as you guys are. So,
well, yeah. I mean, the movies are the movies. They can only do as good a job as they can within an hour, give or take.
As long as they keep making some interesting movies.
I mean, there's
been a lot of shitty ones coming out lately. I'm hoping for some new ones coming out that are going to be better, hopefully.
Even in the worst Batman movies, like with Mr. Freeze and Ivy, or with the Riddler and all that, I mean, there's still something good about them if you look hard enough. And even though like the fans didn't care for them, they still made a lot of money.
Oh, I love that one. I love that one because it brought me right back to the fucking. Because I used to watch the Adam West ones when I was a kid all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so similar to Adam West, where the villains were just super fucking over the top, campy, and like they were always just ripping out these like terrible fucking jokes constantly.
I fucking hated that movie, dude.
Oh, and the combat was just so bad and cheesy. It was just like, it just reminded me of being a kid. So I recognize that was a bad movie, but I loved it so fucking much because it reminded me so much when I was a kid watching Adam West.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Like the holy
So
rusted
I
Batman.
fucking hated it.
Holy rusted metal Batman. Scene in that I think a lot of people just fucking hate. That's one of my favorite parts. Oh man, I want to see some of them.
Dude, I didn't watch the Batman movies. I didn't watch the Batman movies for like fucking at least 10 years after that fucking thing.
Oh
Dude.
man, I don't blame you. If the only reason it worked for me is because of my watching those when I was a kid. It just reminded me so much of them.
I actually liked that show with Adam West, dude, but I fucking hated that movie, dude.
Oh, Snyder's cut of Justice League.
I don't think it'll be anywhere near as good as people think.
Is there going to be a second Justice League or something?
No, what happened was that the Justice League movie that we had gotten, like Zack Snyder's, I believe his daughter committed suicide, and he was so grief stricken. Obviously, he couldn't finish the movie, so it was given to what was his name? The guy who did Firefly. Not Wheaton.
Yeah.
Why am I spacing on his name? It's because I'm
Not
so
Will
late.
Wheaton?
No, not Will Wheaton. Josh Wheaton.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, goddamn.
Josh Wheaton. Josh Wheaton. He was, he changed it up and changed the script, and it was just a mess. But I don't think the Snyder cut of the Justice League movie is going to be all that good. Mostly because Zack Snyder, he did Man of Steel, that Superman movie, and that was like that dark gothic version of Superman, which you could do that for Batman, but it doesn't really work for Superman because they represent two different sides. Batman's, he's in the shadows, he's in the gutters, he's in the things. His world is a very dark, gritty world, and Superman is a one to inspire hope and everything. So it doesn't work color wise, contrast wise, in that kind of
apparently, Too Far is saying he finished principal photography before his daughter died.
Oh yeah, no, I knew about that. Finished all that. There was a lot that they could have gone with to finish the movie, but they didn't go that way.
Well, I mean, if it's a cut that's supposed to change the way the movie, story of the movie is, I'll watch it. That sounds interesting to me. To be fair.
Well, they would have to invest money into the filming and into the other stuff, or editing and CGI. I don't know if they could do it. I don't know.
Well, he says he's actually seen it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. I mean, like, if it comes out and it's a new cut and it's a better take on that story, I'll definitely watch it. Because Justice League is great. Like, the storylines in Justice League are a lot of fun, but I mean, that's got to be really hard. Oh, HBO gave Zach the money? So that might be like an HBO exclusive for a while or something then, maybe? How do you market that, though? That seems like an odd one. Like, Take Backsies, we're reconning is that basically just like this is a retcon of the film with a different editor, or? Yeah. Oh, it's almost 4 hours long? So is there like a bunch of shit that just wasn't in the main movie that got cut out that he put back in, essentially, or what?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if Warner Bros. Forced him to cut it down to a minimum 3 hours. Because, I don't know, 4 hours is a bit long.
Because it wasn't the original guy that filmed it, it's Joss Whedon. So it was a combination of Joss Whedon cutting it down to 3 hours, plus not really having done all the principal, like, photography himself, so not... Because like, the director is basically like a storyteller, right? Like, that's his role in the thing. He basically decides how the story is told.
Well,
they can change, like, script and characters and all sorts of shit. So if you get, like, one guy who has a really specific vision of the story, and then he does all the filming, and then another guy who has a different vision of the story, and he just comes in after the fact and does, like, some little quick extra shots here and there and like some fucking editing, like that's gonna be real weird. Oh, Warner Brothers mandated a 2-hour hardline. Okay.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, but also, I mean, Warner Bros. Isn't too unreasonable. I'm sure you can negotiate like a cut.
Maybe if you were the original director and not like the second one in.
I mean, like, or you could have like a Senate cut. I think who was it? That did Lord of the Rings? It wasn't Warner Bros. It was New Line, I think. Like I remember watching Lord of the Rings 2 hours, but then they had like extended cuts for that were like 4 hours a movie.
Yeah.
I started watching a movie. I can't remember where I saw it, and I'm like, this is really good. Everything's here I remember. And then I realized, fuck, are we already 2 hours in? We're not even halfway. This is a long ass movie.
Well, I think
Dude,
that's
Lord of the
why
Rings
they
was
away
one of
from
the
theaters.
few movies that were that long. Where even at the end of it, I'm like, God damn it, it's over already. Fucking
Yeah,
love those movies, dude.
Oh man, people forget about those movies. Of course, maybe they have to get them because that prequel movie,
The Hobbit,
the Hobbit, man,
fucking
that
terrible.
that was a bad idea.
Fucking
Yeah,
awful.
I was a little. I was like, how are you gonna stretch the Hobbit into fucking 3 movies? Which
We're adding a
obviously
bunch
took
of
a
shit
lot
that
from the
wasn't in the fucking
Silmarillion
book.
and shit.
I mean, weren't they have several books of the Hobbits, anyways?
No,
Well, not of
there's
the
one
Hobbit,
book.
Just
but they
one.
took a lot of shit from the Silmarillion, which is kind of like the Bible of the fucking,
The
Lord of the Rings
Silmarillion
universe.
was a bunch of notes that Tolkien had written about the story, and supposedly he had been considering remaking The Hobbit into a more adult novel because it was written as a children's book.
Mm.
Okay,
And the
here's
Silmarillion was the notes on that. So basically, they just arbitrarily
something funny about
grab
the
stuff out of it, essentially.
like when you talk about J.R. Tolkien shit. Here's something funny. I've yet to make it through any one of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Oh, that's too bad because they're not
I've
they're
had
not terrible.
marathons with one of my brothers. We would literally sit down and watch all 3 of them in one sitting.
Oh wow,
Extended edition. It was amazing.
that's a fucking commitment right there, man.
That was fun.
Hey, by
Yeah,
the
it
way,
was
you
weird. I had never seen books as a kid or any of that. I had no fucking interest in it. But yeah, I watched that first movie and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I watched this because the second one came out. Like the first one came out on DVD and then the second movie came out shortly after it. So yeah, I basically was watching it the day it came out, and then for the third movie, I was at the fucking midnight showing, like the very first one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, the Lord of the Rings.
I'm a fan.
The Lord of the Rings is pretty good. They covered most of the story accurately. They left out a couple of things that were really interesting.
Yeah, why wasn't there any Tom Bombadil? God damn it!
I think Tom Bombadil you can cut out, even though
I know,
you
dude.
should have added him in.
Yeah,
But
he
the
wasn't
Return to the
essential, but
Shire,
he's a
the Return
fucking
to the
badass.
Shire is one of the best parts of those books, and because it proved that the whole reason the hobbits were there was because the whole world was at war, including their fucking Shire. So they come back and they find that these men have like taken over the Shire like by force. They're men who worked for fucking or no, what's his name? It was actually Sauron that led them.
Saruman.
Like after his fall. Saruman, after his fall, still led the men that were controlling the Shire, and they had to fight off and take out Saruman and his big men.
That fucking irritated me. I'm like, instead of that fucking homoerotic fucking slow-mo reunion scene, they could have fucking done some shit about the fucking the cleansing of this fucking Shire.
They could have at the very least showed like like they do like the little like just show you can see little short scene like a like a montage or something of them cleansing the Shire or something like that. That would have been more interesting.
Yeah.
Than
I still love the movies, but yeah, that was definitely one thing I was like, what the fuck, man? Ugh.
Well, the movie has like at least a couple hundred endings at the end of it. Because when I remember watching in the theaters going, oh, that's the end. No? Oh, this must be the end. Well, then
Surely now.
this has got to be the end at this point. It's just at a certain point you just give up and you sit back like, I guess it doesn't end.
Mm-hmm. I guess this is my life now.
This is where I live.
I mean, it's a rich, entertaining world, but I don't know. I got taxes to pay. I got got kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. Whereas, like, in The Hobbit, they changed around so much, and then they added fucking Legolas for fucking money.
Yeah.
Like, we can sell more
He was
Legolas figures if we throw them in there. That will do it.
Yeah, because he wasn't even in. 90% sure he wasn't even in the film. I don't think
don't
he's
know,
mentioned
yeah.
at all in that.
I don't know. I mean, Orlando Bloom. I don't know. His career has kind of been tanking, hasn't it? What has he been doing? I think it like fell apart like shortly after that. I don't know. Did you guys hear about that car he had?
The car crash.
Well, okay, so paparazzi was chasing him, trying to get his photo and everything, and they kind of sped up and got into a car accident. And they filmed the whole thing. And Orlando Bloom sort of freaked out and just got out of the car and started walking away.
Damn.
Wow.
And then the paparazzi, they were following him. It's like, dude, you can't just walk away. We got you on film. Dude, you can't. And so he just sort of stopped and like, oh, okay. Doesn't say anything and then stops back and sees if the other person's okay.
Yeah, only Matthew Broderick and Halle Berry can get shit.
Don't forget Gloria Estefan. Oh, wait, that wasn't with the car, though.
And Bruce / Caitlyn Jenner. Forgot about that.
Andy Dick.
Did he actually like kill somebody in a car accident?
No, but he plowed himself into a pole in more ways than one.
He's been doing that all his life.
Wait a minute. Jeffrey Dean Morgan was going to be Batman. And Thomas and Lauren Cohan was going to be the Joker.
Maggie from The Walking Dead?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's Maggie. The Widow. Oh shit, that just started up again. I forgot about that shit.
Oh, The Walking
What?
Dead?
Yeah.
Oh.
Never could get into that, man. Just too many zombie things I'd watched before that came out that I was just like, I can't do another zombie thing now.
Yeah, it kind of.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with the last season or the last half season.
Everyone kind of got sick of zombies because they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Kind of like me and vampires. I can't like for the longest time there were like so many vampire movies. I was done. And that was actually there was too many vampires, even tons of them in the 90s.
Oh, they're Bruce's parents in Batman versus Superman for some reason. Okay.
Oh, in the Flashpoint Paradox, yeah.
Oh man, what was it? I recently watched the first two Iron Man movies again.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I'm watching the second one, and because I'm a fucking idiot, I'm sitting there watching it going like, dude, I didn't know fucking what's the girl that plays Black Widow?
Oh, was in that
Scarlett
movie?
Johansson?
Yeah, I didn't know Scarlett Johansson was in this movie. I wonder how they got her to play Black Widow if she was in this movie too as like a secretary. But then it turns out, because she was just Black Widow, like she just was infiltrating the company. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm fucking dumb. I just forgot about that storyline, I guess.
Am I crazy, or is she hotter in her first appearance than in any other movie?
Who?
Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's
as
Black Widow. Yeah, like I don't know, like I've seen her in every Avengers movie and everything else. I always thought she was hotter in that first time we see her. Of course, the first time we see her, she has the curly hair, and after that, it was like straight or something or short.
Yeah, I
Honestly, I never thought Scarlett Johansson was that hot.
I don't mind her.
She's not like fucking hideous or anything, dude. But
I liked her in Lost in Translation. I thought she was pretty sexy in that. You know,
well, she does put butts in seats.
that's true. She does that. Does that.
yep.
Yay! All right, are we winding down? Is it time to end this thing? Put it out of its misery.
Probably for the best.
I've been wanting to sleep for a long time.
Yeah, we've heard your fucking sighs for the last 45 minutes, dude.
Fuck you, I'm tired. At least I had the decency of retweeting this fucking show. Fuck off.
Oh, it's too bad
is
we didn't
that
have
why-
Satan. Satan always has good stuff in comics when we talk about comics too.
Yeah, is that why you have more people in your chat this time around than usual?
No shit.
I don't know why.
Yeah, well, no, I put it on. One Step is from Davy Croc Discord. I posted in Davy Crocco's Discord.
Okay.
But yeah,
You guys
subscribe
have-
to. Yeah, One Step does videos too. It's good shit. So you can subscribe to him. Subscribe to Davy and One Step. And Nightwave and okay, I'm not gonna. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you're talking about Samaj. He says whichever one of you was talking with me about Batman, please hit me up on my channel. I have info you're going to be excited to hear.
Yeah.
So apparently he's got some inside info on the Batmans.
Yeah. We really should have had him on. We were interacting with him enough. We probably should have had him on.
Oh yeah.
Can you throw the Discord link? Join the Discord, man. We'll have you on next time. One Step.
So is the Discord link still there? The Discord link should be in the info, but
I don't think it is, dude. Yeah, I'm
why
not
is
seeing
Streamlabs on the fucking thing? We don't have a fucking Streamlabs. I'm not taking any money for this shit. This is awful.
Yeah, support the stream. Did it like create one for you? What the fuck?
I don't know, dude. I've never signed up for
Fucking
Streamlabs,
weird.
so that's fucking weird.
I'm gonna hit that link. Let's see what happens.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh man, that's fucking bizarre. But yeah,
Do
it's
you
not in there. So
well,
if you can throw it
do you
in
have-
there.
Hold on. Do you have Streamlabs OBS?
I think
Yeah,
you
Well,
use
there's the
OBS,
Discord
so I
if you
guess
wanna-
that's automatic.
If you're so inclined, One Step. By all means.
Right.
I'm pretty
so-
sure.
Yeah,
I'm
if you're
pretty
still
sure
there.
if you're using Streamlabs OBS, Streamlabs OBS creates one for you.
Oh,
okay.
okay. That makes sense, dude.
Then I
And
gotta
when
make sure
you,
to take it out
We don't know what
because
the
I
fuck
don't want
we're doing.
anybody putting any money in there. Oh, not enough tipping data. Okay, so people can't tip. I don't want to get paid for this shit. I don't want to deal with whatever nonsense would come with that. And we don't have nearly enough of an audience for that to be worth it.
Not yet. It's gonna fucking happen. Swear to God.
Despite my best efforts to kill it. Oh man.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks for sticking around.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anybody who managed to stick around this long, we definitely appreciate it by all means.
Indeed. All right. I'm off to bed.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace out, guys.